here we are. Our guest today for Everything Hurts was Lindsey Jennningz. We have our resident hot slut here, Tom Goss. He's really been jacking up the YouTube views for you pervs. It was an interesting episode today. I was very out of it, but it was still really fun. There's probably a lot we have to cut out. Maybe we'll put it behind a paywall. Who knows? Maybe we'll make some of it the first Patreon episode. If you really want to see the stuff that can get us canceled. Thanks for leaving. Some of you have been leaving reviews. Keep doing that, guys. Rate, review the podcast. Everything helps. I want people to see it, to hear it, share with your friends, spread the word about it.
It's very easy. 5 stars, great nipples, go Tom, good pod.
Tag us on comment which one is your favorite nipple. We'll do a poll.
Oh yeah, we didn't have her rate this one.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We don't have to do that every time.
Rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, tag us on Instagram when you're listening to us, whatever you got to do to help us out because you love us, enjoy this episode with Lindsey Jenningsz.
Jenningz. Lindsey Jenningsz.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Fucking life sucks. Everything hurts.
I try not to concern myself with things that are going to make me sad if I know I can't do anything about them.
That's what I'm in that. That's honestly like a law of attraction thing too, which I'm trying to do too, is like just stop focusing on shit that's terrible. But like there's been so much talk about accountability, and especially if you're a white person, like you need to talk to, but I'm also like, I literally just live a life where I'm morally, an ally, and I do talk to my fucking Long Island friends about you shouldn't say the N-word. Like I do my fucking part. I try, but I'm like you
could go and
that
knock.
Word's probably on the Long Island
She goes
flag.
and knocks on doors like Jehovah's Witnesses.
I'm like, are you listening to Little Kim?
What I like about this story is that you're talking about how black people told you shouldn't say the N-word, which means you were saying it, and they were like, you should probably not say that anymore.
No, she says she's telling her friends.
Yeah.
But I did go through that.
Who did?
But that was like in 2013. Like, okay, my tits are probably gonna come out, so you can censor them.
You got some great side titty going on.
Thank you. Yeah. Where's the camera? So
not to distract from Tom's beautiful tits.
Big whopping slut over here.
Yeah.
Nicole, can you just bring down track 1 a little bit?
Yeah.
Which
is
one?
that me?
Yeah.
I'm fucking loud as fuck.
It's also you just got the perfect place for the mic. You're good.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So where I grew up, everybody says the fucking N-word. I went to a pretty black school, like a very mixed school. So like my friends were okay with it, back in the day, 2007, whatever. I moved to LA and like I had friends here too, like black friends who didn't care if I said it, but I like moved here to do music and I had a manager. And, like, there was a recording of me at a birthday party being like, that's my N-word a million times. Just wasted, saying it, like, 37 times. And they didn't give a fuck, but he was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. And that's kind of where I learned my lesson. And then on tour with the Suicide Girls, a white girl said the N-word and pissed off the other girls. Like, so anyway, now my Long Island friends are always fucking saying it, and I have to be like, you probably shouldn't say, like, and they're like, my one friend was like, this is my music, it's made for me. So I'm like, it's not, what?
Wait.
No, that's not, what?
What makes her think it was made for her?
Like, because she's a fan of it? I'm like, that's not how it works, though. And it's like,
Yeah.
Wait, is she making music?
No, she's a white person who wants to sing the N-word to Rihanna or whatever. Like, and she's like,
okay,
she's colonizing the music.
Gotcha.
They just don't get that. It's like you can just not
now.
say a word. It's just a word that you can just not say. It's like not that hard.
I avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always avoided it.
Yeah. It's probably for the best, We learn.
Iffy.
We learn.
Yeah. Other than my tattoo of it, I don't say. Yeah, no.
Well, I was gonna say. Well, now I'm just gonna get myself in trouble for no reason. But I have a swastika tattoo.
What?
What?
I didn't know that.
What?
Why?
Don't laugh like that after saying that. What?
No, because I know how it sounds. But it's the Hindu swastika that's like, supposed to be like love and light and all that. It's a Ganesh tattoo, and it's on his palm, and that's how he's usually like.
Wait, is it
depicted.
actually called a swastika?
It's not called a swastika.
Oh, it
no,
just
I know,
looks like one.
I know, yeah. So it looks
Okay.
like one, and it's like flipped the other direction. But
Yeah, okay.
but I also, I'm just gonna make this worse.
Is that where it comes from, the swastika? Did they just flip that?
Yeah.
I feel like they just flipped it and turned it into.
They appropriated their
They
shit.
appropriated
Yeah.
it. So in high school, I wanted to be a social studies teacher because that was like the first time I saw somebody getting attention, I guess. Like before, I mean, like I always wanted to be like a pop star, but I was like, I could do this. Like, I just wanted attention, obviously, like to be commanding a room.
Yeah.
That's why we end up in stand up. But so I wanted to be a social studies teacher at the time, and my teacher let this kid teach the class for no reason. And I was like, what the fuck? He got to teach the class.
Like a student?
A student, yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, why are you letting him teach the class? Can I teach the class? So he had to let me because he let the other guy. And so the lesson that I taught was about the Nazis in the Third Reich.
Wait, how old were you?
15.
Oh, okay.
And I made swastika cupcakes.
Oh my.
What?
And I brought them into school. I made fucking white cupcakes with red swastikas on them, and I came in with my hair slicked back, with a black blazer on and a red bandana on my.
You know what's so funny is like
What?
what's funny is you were
I'm just purposely canceling myself.
it's funny because
But
you were like
nobody-
trying to be educational, probably. Like you probably did it. In
I didn't-
Such
yeah,
a,
I was
in
not
such
a
a like.
Nazi,
You
obviously.
probably did it in such a like teacher's pet, like wholesome kind of way. Like, look how above and beyond I'm going for my lesson.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just unintentionally fucking. Did your
What was
teacher
the-
say anything?
Yes. So my teacher. No, it's so funny because I still know the teacher because I worked like 6 years after I graduated high school. I worked at the hair salon that he would get his hair cut at. So every time he came in, he'd have to tell everybody the story. And he was literally going for tenure that year, and he was like, I don't know if he could have got me in trouble for a hate crime, basically. But obviously it wasn't. It's 2005. It wasn't as.
Yeah, there wasn't hate then.
There was no hate back then. So it wasn't as oh God. Like now, obviously I'd be fucking expelled or something.
Or you become the teacher in some states.
Yeah, they're like this. I'd be talking at the
That's
fucking
it.
Republican National Convention
Yeah,
next year.
yeah.
But free speech. But yeah, so I made swastika cupcakes. But you know what? It honestly brought everybody together. Everybody ate them.
Everyone
The
loved
blacks,
them.
the Jews, the whites.
What flavor was the cupcake?
I think I made chocolate and vanilla. Vanilla icing though, so that you
Okay.
could really see that red swastika.
Did you bring like skull measuring tools too? What the fuck?
So
What did you do with
It's a good time to
this?
start
Is
a
a
Patreon,
nuts
Nicole.
story.
I
Yeah.
know, and it's
I know. Put this shit behind the paywall.
I wasn't.
yeah. That sounds good to me.
You know what I've noticed about podcasts is that the one part that will get people mad is always what people lead with. Like people always come
Yeah,
out. The beginning of every podcast is always the most hardcore part of a podcast.
I'm like, let me just tell you the worst thing I've ever done.
You're going to be talking about your journey to like healing in like 45 minutes in.
We also smoked weed in that teacher's class, but like when there was a substitute, which I can't believe we got away with. Like
What were their Nazi opinions?
we literally smoked a bong. Like we were sitting in the corner of the classroom. It's not like we were like even hiding. We put the bong in made a water bottle bong, put it in my friend's North Face, and Sade got us a dime bag, and we fucking smoked out the window in that class. We got away with so much stuff in that class, but
I had a remedial math class where the guy next to me often did cocaine during class.
that's fun.
The first time he
What
was
did
like,
he do? Did he like hide behind his math book and just like fucking snort it off his desk?
actively bullied the teacher, but one day he was just like, "Can I borrow your ID?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, I need an ID. And I was like, no, I'm not giving you my ID.
Because you thought he was going to actually use it.
I thought he was going to steal it because we stole shit from each other all the fucking time. I'm like, I'm not. He was like, I won't leave this desk. After like 5 minutes, I'm like, if you move.
I won't leave this desk.
If you move, I'm going to kick the shit out of you. And I was like way bigger than him. He took my ID and he just did a line and he cut it up and he just started snorting it.
He didn't offer you any?
Oh, no, I wouldn't have taken any at that point either. And then the bell rang, and every single kid got up out of their seat, came over, and started trying to gum what with the left. That class was
Orange
fucking
County?
nuts. This was in Orange County. Yeah, this was.
Does that kid have money?
Oh, no. No, I think that kid OD'd.
Rich people can OD.
Yeah. No, that kid.
Only
That's
poor
true.
people OD.
What kind of kid has cocaine money?
Yeah,
The kind that deals drugs.
Yeah.
He dealt, I think it was heroin.
I've never done cocaine, but like, does anyone have some like right now?
She's seen me do cocaine. I've been like, don't do it, Nicole. Just doing lines in front of her.
I'm afraid to do it now.
Dude, I'm afraid of snorting stuff. Like, I don't know why. Like, the thought of snorting anything, like, just freaks me out.
Yeah.
Why? You don't know why?
I don't know. Like, it seems
now
like
they're
it would
giving
burn.
They're giving people ketamine, nose spray, nasal spray, like for depression.
My therapist thinks I should do ketamine therapy.
And are you gonna try it?
I don't know. It seems kind of weird.
It does seem weird.
But I've read about it, and it seems to help some people. I just like.
All my friends just self-diagnose and just do ketamine. Now they're like, it's an antidepressant.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it like outside of a doctor's. Whatever. I don't know. It seems like one of those things that like later on we go, maybe we shouldn't have done that, you know?
Yeah.
Like lobotomies. Yeah. Cause like you always thought that ketamine was like that drug that you don't want to do because you're gonna end up in a K-hole and like somebody's gonna rob you. Like that's always the idea. I remember Alex Hooper offered me ketamine at a festival, and I was dating Pat at the time, and he was like, "Don't do ketamine," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess not." I was on Molly, but then I did ketamine the first time at Skankfest.
Yeah, I remember that.
You were with me.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried about you after you did ketamine.
Why?
I was.
Why?
Because I didn't know what that. I don't. It seemed like you were having a great time. I was like, I don't know how much of that is the ketamine, and if they're also like. There are a lot of creeps at Skankfest. And they kept coming up to you.
True.
Yeah. I was like, I hope nothing. But yeah, you were fine.
That was fine. Dave Cyrus drove us home. I bought us like Wendy's or some shit. I was like, fast food for everyone.
Yeah.
I remember that.
First time I was ever around a guy on ketamine, it was a guy named Kenny. He had a wooden leg.
You're like, this seems like a good idea.
He like follows the dead related bands. He's like a hippie.
Dead related.
Yeah, because
he's like, I'm not a deadhead. I'm dead related.
But like he's like he's following whatever solo project a Grateful Dead guy is on.
Bob Weir and Friends.
Yes,
I saw
exactly.
them
Phil
once.
Lesh and Friends. It's always in Friends or Company. Yeah, but we were in a hotel room. We were stuck there because he was dating my friend's sister, and we were stuck in Boston because my car got towed and I had no money. And so we went to this hotel room, and this guy Kenny went in a K-hole and he smashed a bunch of shit in it with his wooden leg. Smashed a bunch of
He
shit
took
in
it
the
off and
hotel
smashed
room.
it, or did he just kick it?
He was punching. He was limping and punching. But
Well, he couldn't kick shit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But his leg looked like a bedpost. It was like the worst wooden leg I've ever seen.
Leg by IKEA.
And then he went down to the hotel and argued. I don't know what he like somehow. I don't really remember this because I was drunk, but in my mind, what I remember is that he said that they gave him a trash hotel room, and like he was like trying to argue that they had just checked into their room and they found it trash. But I don't think he got away with it. I don't know.
I just am hearing that Fall Out Boy lyric. What is it? It's like, you're just a line in a, or I'm just a notch in your leg post, and you're just a line in a song.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Sugar, we're
Every
going
time he
down
trashes
swinging.
a hotel room, he just adds a notch to his fucking wooden leg.
Yeah.
What you're saying is ketamine Kenny went into a K-hole and couldn't kick, and he trashed his hotel room, so he had to ask for the manager and became a Karen. The last K took me a while to get to,
But it's pretty Sissian.
but thank you. Thank you.
Case.
I just went into a BoJack Horseman bit.
Yeah. Glad we went from Nazi to
We're still doing KKK.
KKK.
Look, like this was supposed to be a much different episode, but our black guest canceled, so now it's this.
I feel like it still would have been a little
It
similar.
would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamar has the same story as Lindsey.
Probably worse stories.
I mean, he knows a guy with a wooden leg, I'm sure.
Oh,
You
for
would.
sure.
Our neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't know anyone with a wooden leg.
I'm surprised you don't have a wooden leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Give him some time.
Yeah.
If you had no legs, this is for all of you. Jump in.
Okay.
What kind of replacement leg are you going with? Are you going with the blades that the Olympic runner had? You going with a wooden leg?
I
You
mean,
going-
I don't. Those kind of freak me out, the blades, but like they're probably the most efficient, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah, because people run with them.
Tough to be on fly with those.
Yeah, I'd
on,
say
though.
like a titanium leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
The like kind of the bottom half of a crutch looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd want a metal arm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
just- I
Like
think that
Dr.
would-
Claw?
Yeah, I think that would look dope. if
The
I had a
truth is,
fake
none
arm.
of us
Be like,
could
keep
afford
the legs.
the
I don't
good
need
shit.
my legs, but I'll take a metal arm.
None of us are getting anything. We're just gonna have that
Yeah.
shitty, ugly, like skin-colored prosthetic thing.
I'm with the VA, and they're still giving people hooks for hands. So the VA to this day,
Insane.
God.
yeah, you see
Insane.
people with hooks.
What
for
do you
hands.
do with a hook? Like, how do you even?
You can smoke a cigarette pretty easily.
and that's all they need it for.
Honestly, that would probably stain your hands less.
Are the hooks like sharp?
I think they are. I don't think they're like I don't think it's a weapon necessarily, but I think
Right.
if you needed to, I don't think you could pierce your ears with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tried hard enough.
But yeah. Like, you wouldn't want to finger anyone with it.
Oh God.
No, but that's not about sharpness either. I mean, I
You
don't
can rub the clit with it a
Yeah.
little bit with the round edge.
think-
Yeah, a vibrating hook.
Vibrate? Yeah, that's what I want for my legs. A vibrating hook.
sex machine.
Yeah.
Just get dildo fingers.
Want to ride my Sibian stump?
Sibian's gonna come up every episode now.
Yep.
That's that like sex machine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I just learned about it.
it doesn't even have like a penetrating part, does it? Or it does?
It has a little thing that looks like a Band-Aid that they put on it that has a little bump up it that just goes right up against your clit.
And
See-
some of them do.
Oh,
For me-
so there's nothing that goes inside.
You
of
can if you want.
There's some.
It
There's
has all kinds of-
attachments.
It's
So-
a Swiss Army knife.
So I have a
Yeah.
fuck machine, and but it's so slow. It sucks.
What is a fuck machine?
It's like
same
a-
thing?
Is it the one that's like got that like
Bring-
almost like train propeller thing going?
It looks like. It looks like a little cannon kind of, and it just like it's just like a little black thing that you know.
Is it
looks
like
this.
those things for your back?
Kind of
but-
like a like a
for your
Theragun or a
vagina?
Hypervolt, but big, like like this big, and then you attach dildos to it. I only used it one time. Somebody bought it from off my Amazon wish list from OnlyFans. I haven't made a video with it yet. I should, but
Yeah.
But it doesn't have different settings. It's just
it's so slow. Yeah, like it's like when you put it on when it's not inside of you. It's like I guess my pussy's just too tight, but no, it like kind of just stops. when
Oh,
you-
it takes a while to like get.
No, like it's like
through.
if I turn it on and it's not inside of me, it's like da-da-da-da-da, and then I put it in, it just like kind of stops moving.
Oh,
You know
well,
what I mean?
do you use lube?
I mean my pussy's wet, but yeah, I mean I'll use lube too, but I only tried it once.
Okay.
Okay, but
Maybe it's not waterproof, so
I
it just
do-
like dies inside there.
It's a non-waterproof.
yeah, I don't know.
machine.
It's just cheap. It's just a cheap fuck machine. I want there's like a cowgirl one that's more, but I was gonna say before, yeah, because most girls they're you're
Tom's a
looking at my
cheap fuck machine.
Uh,
He's our resident cheap fuck machine.
most girls
Free.
prefer like clit stimulation, so that's why that machine, the Sibian, I guess, is like mostly about the clit. But
Yeah.
I need clit stimulation and penetration. And it's funny because the one podcast I listened to of yours, you were talking about how you don't like when guys finger fuck you.
Oh yeah, me and Ramsey were talking about that, and I was like,
And you're-
don't be this guy, like the guy.
and I'm
that
like,
just
no,
goes
be
like
that guy. I like that. I'm like, I like, eat me out, finger fuck me. at the same time. I need a lot at the same time. Finger fuck, eat me out.
For me, I'm just
and
like,
some
if you're
pressure.
gonna be doing that, just do it with your dick. Like, don't fingers weird me out. Like,
Really?
I don't know if guys are washing
You
their
can't-
hands.
you
They're
can't
probably
curl
not.
They're
your
disgusting,
nails, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not washing their dicks either. So.
That's the only thing we wash.
But,
Yeah.
but
Not your hands. You're just like, you don't even touch it with
But
your
their,
hands.
their dick isn't touching doorknobs and shit, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
They're not wiping with their dicks.
Well, hang on.
Dip it, or is it?
Tom, has your dick
What-
ever touched a doorknob?
My dick has my dick touched a doorknob. I'm almost certain. You gotta show dominance over the door.
Do you pee on everything in your house? You let people know you're in control?
Like a wolf. No, don't pee on things.
Where does this phrase on your shirt come from?
Right.
It's Hawaiian for hello and goodbye. No,
It's from the Art of War.
yeah. Me and Lao Tzu got a lot in common. Will sent it to me.
Oh, right. Of stuff.
He's
Lucky.
my van friend.
Yes.
Your van friend?
Yes.
Our van friend.
Our van friend, yes.
Thank you very much.
Who lives in a van?
No, he just travels in a van.
Oh, okay.
He's
He
pretty
wants
cool.
to live in a van.
He's a
But
cool
But
guy.
he can't afford it yet or something.
We did. Would you rather be drinking? Have you ever drank? We did a piss drinking episode that people were very upset about.
Were they upset about the piss drinking part of it, or?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause,
Yeah.
well, it upset me too. I was like, really?
I literally got I got a 1-star review and it just said, "This is for the piss drinking episode." I'm still gonna listen though. I was like, respect.
I think it's because it was being sold as medicine. I think if somebody if come in and been
No,
like,
if
my
it-
kink is to drink
dude,
your
if it was a
piss.
sex thing, hell yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't get it, but like I
I've
get
actually
it.
started drinking my cum, and I've had a lot of pro health. My hair's better.
they do say cum is good for you in a lot of ways like that.
I'm sure
for
they
your skin.
do.
You're like, yeah, I'm sure someone said that to you.
It's protein.
But
I'm using it as deodorant.
so have you guys drank piss? Because I'll tell you,
No.
I'll tell you my piss drinkings.
I don't think so.
So I don't know about the piss being medicine thing. I mean, I do want to listen to that episode to see like what she has to say about that, but it is sterile. We know that, and we know that if you're like stuck somewhere, you can drink your own pee. That's like what you have to do if you don't have water.
But I
So,
think actually now they're saying not to because there's so much like salt in it.
not to drink the piss.
Yeah.
So what do you do then? You just die.
Yeah, but that could dehydrate you faster. Same
Real-
with
is
like
that
you
true?
shouldn't drink ocean water if you're
Or
stuck
beer.
in the ocean.
Or beer.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in the desert.
If
When
you're
I
stuck
was-
on a desert island
I mean,
with
if
just
I
beer.
was stuck in
Yeah.
the desert and I was just gonna die anyway, that's exactly what I'd drink.
I mean, that would be it would be a tasty way to die.
I'd be sucking cactuses.
Cactuses, yeah,
Yeah.
they got water inside them.
But do cactuses usually exist on desert islands?
yeah, that's like
Well,
that's
cactuses-
Oh,
what
a
it
desert island?
I mean, I
don't
don't
know about
know.
an island.
Long Island has cactuses, which I learned recently.
Long Island does?
Yeah, I know. I didn't
Okay.
think we would, but by the water we do. Okay, so when I was in high school, I had a boyfriend. It was like my first love, you know, who we would just like try anything. He was the first person whose dick I sucked, you know, like we were experimental in the bed. And so we would like drink each other in the bed. In the
I
bed.
like that you like I sucked his dick. We were experimental. I really
It
went
was
out
like,
there.
I mean, like I was 15. I never sucked a dick
Yeah,
before.
like your Philip Glass.
Well,
I was the Galileo finding that man's cock with my mouth.
we like drank each other's blood and shit. Like we were weird. And
Okay, that's
so
more
we-
experimental.
Was this Angelina Jolie, Billy Bob Thornton time?
Actually,
they were drinking
probably,
each
yeah,
other's blood?
yeah. We were,
Yeah.
you know, we were like just wanted to do anything we could because we were like so obsessed with each other. We had each other's names tattooed on each other.
Healthy.
But you
Yeah.
covered it up with the swastika.
No, I covered it up with roses. But what's funny about it is that it was done in Braille, which makes no sense because because it's not actually Braille. It was only Braille for the first week while I was raised, and then once it
Yeah.
healed, it's just a bunch of black dots. And he became a heroin addict, so I was like, it's symbolic. But
You're like a
Was he
Long
blind?
Island Mad Lib gang.
Is he blind?
No, we just were like, all right, well, like, you know, in case we were like, let's not get our names, we'll get it in Braille. Like, we thought we were like really smart. And then it's funny,
respect that,
because I have the tattoo that covers it on my back, but you can't see the dots through the tattoo, but you could see the tic-tac-toe scratch marks from when I had my friend scratch it out when he cheated on me.
What did they scratch that out with?
A needle or like a safety pin or something. It didn't work, obviously. It just looked like tic-tac-toe on my back. So you could still see the scar of that through the tattoo, but you can't see the dots. But anyway, so we drank each other's piss, and he drank my piss straight. I just peed in his mouth, and he straight up gulped it down. And then
that's like what people do.
Wait,
and
you like
then
sat on his face?
I was standing over him.
Okay.
And then he peed in my mouth for 2 seconds, and I was like, I couldn't believe that he drank. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
But I was willing to try it because I loved him. So I don't know if I've ever told
That's
anybody
really
that.
sweet.
I've never drank piss. I've been pissed on, but I've never drank it.
I was pissed on in a threesome when I didn't want to be, and it just started happening, and I was like, I was so fucked up. It was like,
I would piss on somebody. I've just never been asked.
I don't want to. I wouldn't
I
want
laughed
to.
the whole time. It was
sure,
just a
it's
bit.
hilarious.
It was a bit, yeah, like it's not something I would do, like, because it's hot.
I never seen how stupid it looked when girls pee. It looks so stupid. It comes out all messed up, like it's not like a straight
Not
flow.
a straight stream.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a sprinkler.
Yeah, it looks like a thumb over the hose. or
Honestly,
whatever.
I could do a straight stream though. I'm pretty good. I could pee in a urinal. I'm like, shit. I really use my pelvic floor.
Worst superpower ever.
It could come in
I
handy.
take a hit of that cold brew. You guys, I gotta tell you right now, okay. Have you ever been like so just
That's
like
cold brew?
this is cold
Okay,
brew.
Yeah,
I see
I
it
made
moving
it
now.
for-
I
I
didn't
made it
see
for
it
us.
move earlier, so I was like, why
What
did
is-
Lindsey
is
bring
there-
maple syrup?
It's just like a
That's the fattest thought I've ever heard in my life. It looks, it was a jug of
It
maple
looks like
syrup.
maple syrup.
there was a time in my life
like
where
that is moving. I know it's not maple syrup, but it looks maple syrup.
but
It's hot maple syrup. That's why it's moving.
what's crazy is that there is legit a time in my life where I was traveling with a bottle of maple syrup because
Thank you.
Thank you.
because
You fucking
Potassium?
shamer.
no, because I was a fucking sick, like, diet culture obsessed fucking, maniac, and I was doing the master cleanse. Do you guys know the master cleanse?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
the
you already
worst-
talked about the
Isn't that
master race, so
isn't
please
that-
continue.
Isn't that like syrup and cayenne?
So you have to
pepper
have
and
grade, it's like a specific unrefined grade B organic maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and lemon juice, and you only drink that for 10 days or more. I legit didn't eat for
I
2
do know
weeks.
about this,
only
yeah.
drank that. It's an eating disorder. It's
Yeah.
not okay. But I was like obsessed with all things health, diet culture, and shit at
Right.
the time. So anyway, there was a time in my life where I did travel with a big bottle of maple syrup.
Well, I apologize, Tom.
See, I
And
know
I
about women.
And I had to, and I had to shit in the woods then too. I told them
You were
before
talking-
the podcast. I
How
told
many
them I
times have you shatted in the woods?
How many times? At least 3.
At least 3?
But
Okay.
only when it's like an emergency, and that was like when you do the master
But is it always during the winter?
No, that time was during the summer.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
my shit literally froze to the ground the time that I shit in the woods recently. But yeah, it's like a faucet when you do the master cleanse. It's
Oh, I
disgusting.
believe that. Yeah.
When I was water fasting, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it-
so gross.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to chug like a giant thing, like a 40-ounce bottle of salt water as well, which just makes you shit. And that's what they
Salt
make you
water
do
makes
before you
you-
get a colonoscopy too.
Yeah.
Salt water makes you shit?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Interesting.
Cold brew makes you shit.
Yeah.
But
You know-
eating salt.
You know, back
doesn't.
in the day, people used to use salt. I used to have this book of old scams people used to pull.
Okay.
And back in the day, you could spray salinated water into a Coke machine, and the change would fly out, just like the way you would have
Really?
diarrhea.
What?
Like change would just fly out. So people used to rob like Coke machines for change.
Oh, that rules.
You know how
Yeah.
in like The Wedding Singer they put Visine in the guy's
to give him
drink?
diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I don't even know where I'm going with this because I thought I had another thought, but anyway, now I'm thinking about the time that I had a panic attack at the strip club, and I thought somebody did that to me.
You thought somebody put Visine in your?
Because I like automatically felt like I was gonna die, and I had never had a panic attack
Was this
like
when
that.
you were dancing?
So I worked at the strip club for 3 total days. It was 2019, and at 7th Vale
on Sunset.
on Sunset, yeah. And I was living at the Suicide Girls house, like in between tours, and my friends were strippers there. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try stripping. I had like tried one other time before and it wasn't for me. But so I had my first night, I had beginner's luck. It was great. I made $500. It was cool, whatever. And then the second day I went and I smoked weed with a stripper. And that was where I like, usually I'm high all the time. So I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I thought I'd be fine. But I don't know. I went into panic mode. And then they don't have alcohol there because it's a full nude strip club and that's the law here. And
I'm okay with that law.
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, so nobody could have drugged me because I didn't have a drink. And then I was like, well, I had a giant water bottle in the room. And I was like, did one of these bitches put Visine in my phone? Like, I was just making shit up in my head. And then I went into panic mode. So I put my clothes on and was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I was like to the manager, I was like, I gotta go. And he was like, next time, let me know before you put your clothes on. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. So it's just sending me further into this panic attack. And I was like, I have to go.
Well, you had
now.
to ask permission to put your clothes
like
on?
Apparently, like before you leave because you have to be there for a certain amount of time or some shit. I don't know. There's weird rules, but so I was like, okay, well I need to leave now. And then I think you could tell there was something wrong. Like I was just like white, super white, and then he tries to. So I was like, I need to cash out. Like give me my money from like my lap dances or whatever. And then he tried to short me $20, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, I don't know what to fucking. So I just sat down in the middle of the strip club. I was like, I'll wait for the $20. I was like, give me my fucking money. And then I went to the bathroom and projectile vomited. And I had never felt that way before. And then I went to the Suicide Girl's house, and this girl was like, oh, they're like just downplaying it. Like, oh, there's a flu going around. I was like, bitch, this is no flu. And then somebody else recognized that I had, she was like, oh, I think you had a panic attack.
What month was this?
Gave me a Xanax. January?
Of 2019?
Yeah.
You might have just been one of the first COVID cases, honestly.
No. 2020 would be the time. But
That started
That
in
we
November
know of.
2019.
yeah,
that's
so
what
this
it
was
said.
January 2019.
Yeah,
A year.
November before that, though. No, November 2019 was when it started.
Right, and January
January.
2019 was before that.
So January's before November.
So I don't know if you know this, but
Hey, I
Maybe-
learned this recently too.
I don't use your Western calendars.
but
Yeah, I believe you got COVID in month of the monkey. Yeah.
well now
With Chinese month calendar.
I really didn't like realize how bad anxiety is. Like it just made me feel
Yeah.
so much compassion for my friends with anxiety because like I really didn't realize how bad it was. And I also realize now all these things that I have that are anxiety and like trauma responses. But yeah, it's legit a fight or flight. Like your body doesn't know better, and like people with that who don't have anxiety are like, whatever, get over it. It's all in your mind. But it's like, no, it's actually not. It's actually a physical response to like your body doesn't know better, like what's going on. It just thinks there's something, an actual threat.
Anxiety's been kicking my fucking ass lately.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's a part of the reason why I haven't slept in 3 days. But now I'm so out of it.
What are you anxious about?
I don't know everything.
That's the worst way.
Literally everything. I get in a car. I think I'm gonna get in a car accident. I get like, and then the sleeping. Like I just have racing thoughts. And then like last night, the minute I fell asleep, I jolted awake. Like I feel like
Really?
my body is like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Like it, like I
Wow.
feel like it like freaked out. And then when I finally did fall asleep at like 6 a.m., my boyfriend said I was like whimpering in my sleep. So like I don't know what's going on, but like and for like months now my anxiety's been really bad. But now it's like turning into just
And you were just
the
at
worst
South by
stuff.
Southwest, right? Which is
I was
too many people.
and that really like fucked with me. And I didn't. There I did sleep, but I slept like all day. Like all day I was tired, and then like didn't sleep at night. But yeah, I was just in Austin. That was fun. It was weird. It was a weird fucking crowd because it was not necessarily a comedy crowd. It was a bunch of like tech bros.
Really?
And like, so when they came in for roast battle, they like weren't ready for that shit.
Oh my God.
And the first night, luckily I didn't do the
Or they
first.
just like roast Google.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, talk about the metaverse. But yeah, like I'm glad I didn't do like the first night of shows because fucking like Pat Barker got like booed on stage.
Really?
Wait, who did he
He
battle?
got fucking booed. Like, we all did it. It was like an LA versus Texas thing. So we all battled like Texas battlers. Here was the insane part. So Pat was battling a guy named Victor Tran. And he decided that he was gonna do all Asian jokes, like all 5 Asian jokes, and then change what his Asian ethnicity was each time. Like the
that's
first
funny.
joke, he was like, "Oh, Victor's Chinese," and the second joke, he was like, "Oh, Victor's Japanese, like whatever. And then
Australian.
but so and you know, like that's a touchy subject right now, Asian jokes. And so he got booed. But the wild thing is, the other guy did 5 jokes about his fucking dead kid, about his miscarriage, and they were just exploding in laughter.
They're like, we can't be racist, but fuck your baby.
It's so weird, the lines people draw. It's like, this is roast battle. Obviously, like, he's making fun of his dead kid. He's calling him Asian, whatever.
Isn't that the Texan comic who had a weird incident where he got like, someone yelled a bunch of racist shit after his set? Am I thinking of something?
Oh, is that?
No,
that's
that
a
was
different guy.
that was a different guy.
So that was Tony Hinchcliffe, right?
Well,
No. I thought the comic's last name was Trans.
No.
I mean, it might have been, but
It wasn't.
different guy.
Trans
Okay.
Vietnamese. That guy was Chinese. Different. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I misremembering. I guess I'm the racist now.
Well,
You're too sexy to be racist.
Thank you. That's why this is
take your
not-
shirt off and we'll forgive you for being racist.
We're already shirt off.
Yeah.
All right, you pervs. Fast forward to this. But
What does your tattoo say?
Oh God, it's Oxycontin related. I got a tattoo. This is all carbon and bullshit.
Yeah, it's a tattoo.
We're all
Of,
carbon and-
yeah, it's a quote he said.
Bullshit.
The-
I was on the road.
He
I was
quoted
on
himself
drugs
permanently.
Yes.
wait, did you say?
I mean, Lindsay's got a
Oxy-
tattoo
you have
of
your
her
own
own
face
face.
on
Oh,
your
yeah.
Yeah, I
arm.
mean, similar.
Wait, that's
you know.
your face? I thought that was Jeffree Star.
It's literally me in drag makeup. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
I was like, wow,
No,
Jeffree
I think it's
Star.
beautiful.
Thank
I think it's
you.
a beautiful tattoo.
Jeffree Star on my foot. Oh my god!
was-
I got a
Jeffree
swastika
Star?
tattoo. Jeffree Star, the fucking
It's all adding
racist.
up.
Oh god!
I was telling Tom that our listens have been consistently higher than our views on YouTube, and the first episode we made Tom take his shirt off, our views were
She put her paw on my foot. Sorry.
our views were higher than our listeners.
Well, people are really overhearing me. They want to see me.
Yeah.
now.
Well, I think what happened, because I looked at like the analytics or whatever, and it shows that people literally just fast forwarded to the part where Tom took his shirt off.
Which is so
So
funny.
I think that.
Well, here you go, folks.
Yeah, I think that
Is this what you wanted?
they were
Is
listening.
this it, motherfuckers?
They were listening, and then we're like, "Oh, Tom took his shirt off," and then we're like, "I guess I have to go watch the YouTube video now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, you
Well,
got
that's
it.
good.
This is why I had to bring on the eye candy. You guys weren't watching, and you know,
I know, and you couldn't do better than me.
I had to break out.
That's
Tom.
true. Say that without no irony.
Yeah. Don't undersell yourself, Tom. I can't do better than you. I can't
It's
do
not
better.
underselling myself. That's selling me accordingly.
Accordingly. So I'm going to Austin to do the roast battle next month now.
That'll be fun. Well, it'll be different because it won't be like the tech bro crowd.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think that'll be fine. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But by the last night it was, well, no, that's not true. The last night was weird. Also, the second night was good.
Did you meet Adam Lucky? He runs the roast over there, or no?
No.
That's who I'm battling.
No, I didn't mean. The guy I battled was honestly he was actually, I have to say this, he was a very calm, very nice human being that I liked, and I met him.
Who was it?
But
from
very
the-
boring.
From the minute I met him, I was like, oh, this guy is a terrifying person. Like
Terrifying in what
he
way?
was so terrifying. Like he would just like.
You have a tattoo of his own quote on his
Oh
arm?
no, he was
And his
covered
face.
in tattoos all the way up his neck,
Hot.
Okay.
and he dressed like a fucking mafia boss, like a Russian. Like he just like wore like one of those track suits.
Oh, yeah.
He had, like,
Oh.
and then he was like, "Yeah, I run a bar, and technically it's illegal, but you guys should come." Out. Like he was like running an illegal bar,
Oh my
and then
God.
Oh, that's
someone
pretty
told me that he
cool.
did like illegal gambling shit out of that illegal bar.
That sounds fun.
And
funny.
because I'm saying all this stuff, I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
But he
Well, at least
I don't
no
think
one
he
can
would care,
Google
actually.
who you battle. At least that's covered by the internet. The internet would never betray this man.
I don't think he gives a shit. I literally was like, "Can I bring up all the illegal shit you do in the battle?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't care."
yeah,
So
there
it
you
was Zach Brooks. He was
Immediately
See, you
threw
can
that out
put
the
the
window.
Jesus, could you imagine her getting interrogated?
Dude, I would, yeah, I'd give people up immediately if I was
Fast
getting
forward
interrogated.
about 90 seconds when she gives his social security number.
No, he was a funny guy. He was a cool guy. But when I met him, I was like, oh, I'm so scared of you. Like because I.
What did he have, like the throat neck tattoo or just?
No,
like,
it was up the side.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. I want to get a
Pussy.
neck tattoo.
You want to get a neck
straight
tattoo?
to neck tattoo?
Straight to neck tattoo.
I was
That's
trying to get my
hilarious.
roommate to give me one during
The
quarantine.
shoulder to neck tattoo
Yeah.
pipeline.
I want a neck tattoo that says neck. I think it's the one acceptable neck tattoo.
So
What?
that you're labeled like a educational fucking, like a science
For
book.
my personality, not for in general.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
labeled like a science book where it's like
Yeah.
neck, chest.
Yeah,
But don't you have to have a neck to get a neck tattoo?
that's why I need it labeled,
He's
Brian.
like, just in case you didn't know, I do have one.
I need to know what part of my chest people
you
should
just-
be.
Strangling?
Yeah, exactly.
Tattoo a neck on
Well,
me.
that's like, it's a thing in the tattoo industry, like where like traditional tattooers are like, you can't get your neck tattooed until you have full sleeves. It's like
that makes sense to me.
it's
Yeah.
like you have to earn your stripes or whatever kind of thing.
Right. It would be like skipping kissing and going like straight to anal. You know
I
what
totally
mean?
got
Yeah.
a neck
Yeah.
tattoo before I finished my sleeves.
I believe that. We've
But
heard your stories.
I mean, like, I got a face tattoo before I finished my sleeves, but
Oh yeah, I forgot you have a
I
face
have
tattoo.
several face tattoos. I've got a subtle face tattoo, which sounds like an oxymoron, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
subtle.
is that like blacklight?
It's just is white and doesn't have any black in
Your
it.
black
so.
light tattoo.
Yeah.
Now there is, yeah. So last night just because I feel like I have to tell you guys the story. Last night I got locked out of Jasmine's house in Inglewood at 2 a.m. I was in an alleyway for a half hour by myself
In Inglewood.
in Inglewood.
Oh my god.
And like I'm the last person to be like, oh, I'm staying in the hood, but I was staying in the hood, and she fell asleep, and like I had her car all week because I like picked her up from the airport because she went to South by Southwest too. But this is the one night I didn't have her car, didn't have the key, so she had to let me into the gate, you know. And she fucking passed out. She was like, "Sorry, I was drunk and on mushrooms." I'm like, "Okay," but yeah, so she locked me out, and my phone, I just got back from San Diego. I did Don't Tell Comedy. I got back at like 2 a.m, and I had been texting her on the way, like, I'll be back in an hour or whatever. Cool. Didn't even think twice, like, to be like making sure she was awake the whole time. And then I'm just stuck outside in Inglewood, and I had less than 10% battery on my phone. And
what do you, when you're in a situation like that, do you have like a thing that you do to like make yourself bigger like you would with a bear, or
well, it turns
or do you
out
pretend to talk on the phone?
I was wearing this outfit. I'm literally wearing boxer shorts as shorts, walking in Inglewood at 2 a.m. and so I was out front, and I was like, maybe if I wait here for a little bit, maybe somebody will come home. Nobody came home. I called like you and like anybody that I was like, who would maybe pick me up right now? And like three people ended up coming through who would have saved me, but I ended up getting in because the night before I came in at like 5 a.m. from a booty call. I saw you right before the booty
I
call.
did.
I picked my booty call up from the Comedy Store, and then whatever. I was coming in at 5 a.m. and this other guy was walking in too, and he was smoking a blunt, and I was like, "Ooh, are you smoking a blunt?" Whatever, I wanted to fucking smoke. And he said no words to me, just handed me an eighth of weed and not a single word. And I was like, "Wow, thanks." And he just didn't say anything and walked away. I was like, all right.
Wow, someone didn't want to talk to you.
Right. But then what's crazy is he saved me last night. He's the guy who is, and cause like I was like, I don't know if I'm like, cause there's a gate in the back in the alleyway where the garage is, but like you still need a key to get in the gate. And I was like, I don't know if I'm better off waiting at that gate or in the front to see if somebody's gonna come home. But I was like, let me just see, maybe it'll be open. So I had to walk around this like long ass block to the fucking alleyway, and I'm walking past homeless people and shit. I'm just like, da, da, da. I just stand. I like my way of making myself bigger is just like being very confident. I go hiking in the dark in the woods by myself. I'm pretty like ridiculous and do things that are not smart for a woman to do by themselves. But I'm also like tough. But I obviously couldn't fight a man.
I think you could.
I could fight some men, but most.
Why did you look
at
me
those
when you
cats.
said that?
I could fight a couple men. No, I don't know. I mean, I could probably like you'd probably take me down, but like I'd put up a good fight, I think.
Yeah, I also wouldn't
All right,
fight.
let's do it right here, right now.
But anyways,
Get a kiddie pool and fill it with oatmeal.
so
That's fighting it.
the guy said he thought I was a cop. He's like, white people don't just walk around here. I thought you were a cop or something. He was like, what is this girl doing? But yeah, so he happened to come home same time. Thank fucking God. Clearly a drug dealer. And I'm like, why is he always coming home when I like 5 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever?
The fact that someone looked at you and thought you were a cop is baffling to
I
me.
know, but I guess white people don't be walking around like that.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. I was like, really, me? And then anyway, so he
The
was
tattoos could be fake. It would be a good, smart cop fake out.
yeah. So he was smoking a blunt again. This time he handed me the blunt. I was like, is that a blunt? Cool. And I was like, wow, you're like saving my life. You have no idea. And then he was like, yeah, you could come in and smoke. I'm like, this is where I get murdered. But I did it anyway. I don't know. I have a good judge of character, I think. So I went and smoked weed with him, and then he just kept handing me free weed. So it ended up being like a good thing. It worked out for me. He handed me a bunch of just loose buds, and I just put them in my pocket. And then he ended up being like, "Here's a whole bag." He gave me almost an ounce of weed, which is like a lot of. That's like a couple $100. And then he also, so obviously a drug dealer. And then he gave me a vape pen too. I'm pretty sure he's gay, so he wasn't trying to fuck me. And then he was just
It's like he's just a really nice guy.
yeah. But Jasmine said he's not nice to anyone. So I'm like, that's so, because I got that vibe from him the first night when he just handed me weed.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is weird. It seems like he wants me to leave him alone, so he's just giving me weed. But then the next night he was so nice. I don't know. It was a crazy, weird experience.
That is weird. I'm glad you're alive.
I'm alive. Yeah. That was crazy.
It is fun.
I almost started to panic.
When we were in when I was in Austin,
Did
we
you
were
get
walking.
dropped off there?
Yeah, and they just drove away. They don't know, they didn't know I didn't have a key to the gate.
Okay.
And then it was two comics I didn't even know. Well, no, I knew one of them, but I mean, I knew them after we had a lot of deep conversations on the way to San Diego, but
Yeah, I saw like this girl walking in Austin. We were walking by her, and she was just like strutting, right? Like she was just like, and me and Sarah Keller both went, "Whoa!" Like that's confident. Like that's some fucking confident shit right there. And then we thought about it. And we were like, I bet it was because she was walking alone and just like needed to like
yeah.
look as confident and like
I
like
walk with
she
my
was-
fists balled when I'm walking alone at night. Like I'm ready to fight at any moment.
I just
Yeah.
fire a gun into the air. Keeps people away.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, but it's a flare gun. It
Yeah.
doesn't have the same.
I feel like
Helicopters following you.
Yeah.
if I'm walking around late at night, like I look scared as fuck. Like I'm probably prime for kidnapping and ending up in the trunk of a car.
See, I realized that I usually am probably the scarier person because I'm always like in all black with a hood on, looking to the sky because I'm like always looking at the stars and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember
You're a werewolf.
after I
in the woods
saw
in the middle of the night.
after I saw Get Out for the first time.
That shit is
I
scary.
remember one time I was walking behind a black guy, and I thought in my head like,
I
oh,
should kidnap him.
No, I thought
I should kidnap him and take his body.
I thought I should slow down so he's not scared. And like that's the first
That's
time
so
I've
funny.
had that thought of being like I should like slow down so he doesn't think that I'm like following him, being
my
like
God.
that
funny.
movie really turned the tides there. I was like I don't want him to be like nervous around me right now.
People cross the street for me a lot late at night.
Yeah.
Well, that's a scary thing too as a girl because you also some guys are so like they get offended if you were to think like say you cross the street there could be a guy who gets pissed off about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like being
yeah.
like offended that you're acting like they're
By trying to protect themselves. Yeah.
So I had a guy I met a guy on Bumble and I don't really like do dating apps that often, but like every now and then I'm like, how else am I gonna meet somebody? I only fuck comedians because it's the only people I fucking talk to. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go on a date. Like I'm trying to get out there. And I met up with this guy and I told him I was like, by the way, and I say this to every person I meet up with randomly, like 10 of my closest friends know my location, And he got so offended by it. I was like, how do you not realize how sketchy it is that you're
Yeah,
offended?
red
like
flag.
yeah. I'm like, no, what?
So how long
that's
did you
kinda
guys
like-
date for?
I mean, I fucked him, but
That's kind of like if like someone doesn't want to use a condom, that's exactly the person that you should use a condom
exactly,
with,
yeah. Ugh, the worst.
yeah, if someone's offended that you're giving your location to your
I
friends.
don't understand why. Like, I would
Because he was like, oh, he's acting like I should trust him already. He's like, oh, what do you think? He's like, and he goes, I'm a vegetarian. I'm like, so you think vegetarians aren't
so was
rapists?
Hitler. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I wasn't
And me
expecting
for a
you
long
to
time.
eat me.
Yeah, like just because you're a vegetarian doesn't mean that you're not a fucking psychopath. And like, why would I trust some random guy I just met on Bumble? Like, no, you fucking idiot.
I'm gonna Google
Did he
if
have a
there are
photo
any
of him with
serial
an animal?
killers that are vegetarians.
Probably.
What? You're doing the dad thing, Nicole.
What I'm
You're dadding
The
out.
dad thing.
I'm Googling whether there are any serial killers who are vegetarians.
I am too.
I'm just
Okay.
Vegetarians.
Well, does people
Robert
count?
Fry, Kristen Gilbert, Harold Shipman, and possibly John Joubert, Eileen Wuornos, Andre.
Oh, a
Tom
lot of
Lewis, possibly some more I can't think of.
Are there
the Sandy Hook shooter was also a vegan.
all right. So list off those people next time someone makes that argument.
Yeah, it's just like if you're a man, like you should understand that men are terrible. Like you should understand, generally speaking, women have to
Sure.
be careful, and
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with you or your character. If a woman's being careful when they're meeting somebody they've never fucking met before, and if you don't understand that, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 killers who didn't eat meat.
Wait, is Robert Fry the guy? Because there was one guy. No, I think his name is Richard something. Who like he like went into the mental institution and then they let him out, and like he got caught with like a gallon of blood in his truck, but it was like cow's blood. But so that would be really funny if he was a vegetarian.
Right, yeah, no, probably not him.
I think it was like Richard Kent or Richard Trent or something like that. But they had him in the they had him in a mental institution. They put him on medicine, and then they got him out. And then his mom was like, "He's like a zombie. I don't want him on the medicine." And then he went and killed a bunch of people.
Jesus Christ.
It is interesting, like, because you hear like the thing of like usually it's a sign that they're serial killers if they are like cruel to animals because they obviously like don't have empathy. Or whatever. So like I wonder what makes them become a vegetarian if they don't have empathy.
Right. Well, I don't think all serial killers don't have empathy. That's just like sociopaths, like Ted
That's
Bundy.
crazy. I feel like that's even crazier to have empathy and then go kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well, most
You gotta be real
murders.
fucked up.
Most.
Not like those normal serial killers.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
you
more
don't-
like a mass shooter, like the old school mass shooter, the ones who used
Yeah.
to snap at the post office.
Yeah. Those good old school gems.
I think those people could add empathy who are just pushed to a brink.
That's the thing.
Right.
And most murders are like passion driven. Most murders are spouses. Most murders are partners.
Right, but that's why I'm saying serial killers.
Yeah.
But I guess there's probably, I don't know, like those serial killers that like kill people that they think deserve to be killed, or like
a Dexter situation.
Or they think that they're gonna be like saved or something like that. You know,
It's also a classic like stereotype of a sociopath to love animals. That's why they made Tony Soprano obsessed with those ducks.
right.
I don't know. If
Oh,
you like
they
the Sopranos.
really? Is that a?
I thought they did
that
that
a
like to
real
make
stereotype?
him
Yeah,
give
yeah.
him like a human.
No, apparently
know.
it's common with like sociopaths to like love animals.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I could see them fucking animals, but I don't know.
Tony Soprano fucking a duck.
My ex-boyfriend's grandpa, I was just talking about this for some reason, he always fed the ducks. He had like a little pond in his yard, and he always fed the ducks, but he set up traps to kill the squirrels. Like, he, for some reason, hated squirrels when the squirrels weren't doing anything.
That's weird.
And
I
he
love
also
squirrels.
was... You love squirrels?
Yeah.
He was also the kind of guy who would, like, drop... If a kitten had fleas, he'd drop it off, like, on a dead end or whatever.
Oh, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Instead
Like
of getting
chuck it
flea
out a
medicine.
window.
He legit did that to a kitten, like, when I was dating my boyfriend. It was...
This is your dad? Who's this?
my ex-boyfriend's grandpa.
Oh, okay.
My abusive ex-boyfriend's grandpa.
Grandpa, that's different. They have if you're a certain age,
Different
you have a different,
generation.
different relationship with animals.
It's
You gotta eat
weird.
tin or whatever was happening
But
during World War
a
II.
kitten, I feel like if it was like a full grown cat, I feel like kittens, because like babies and kittens and puppies, they're like biologically cute, so you won't do shit like that.
But women have more, it's because the oxytocin in our brains, but women have more oxytocin than men do for stuff like that. Like a man only releases oxytocin in their brain when it's their child, but a woman will have it for any child. So like,
Well, that's why. Yeah, there have been times where I've been like feeling like super, super depressed, and I'll see a fucking cute baby,
throw a
and I'm
cat and
just
you
like,
feel better.
I'll see a cute baby smile, and it just like
Yeah, their energy
completely takes me out of my
Are
depression.
you a baby biter? Do you bite their legs and their arms?
That's so weird
No.
to me.
People love doing that.
I don't like that.
I don't do that. But
I think it's weird.
I don't even like.
Yeah,
I don't
it
even.
absolutely is.
I don't even want kids, but like seeing a cute baby
just wanna bite 'em.
smile, just like, and I love that thing they do when they like kind of bounce. I
Yeah,
just think
yeah.
it's so fucking cute.
Oh, they have to shit or whatever.
Is that what?
No, I think they're just working their leg muscles out.
Yeah, they're just figuring
They
out
just
how
like
to move,
yeah, they just like do random arm and leg movements. and
Oh, I
just
was
think it's so
assuming they were
adorable.
always
I'm just
shitting.
thinking about it right now.
That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
Work it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I started like on TikTok. A lot of people like post their fucking cute ass kids and babies and shit, and that's like all I follow. And like, which I feel like if I was a dude would make me seem super creepy, but it's really just
Yeah.
like it like
cheers you up.
cute children and babies. Like it just
That's
brightens
what you
my
have to
day.
do with social media now is like
And
curate. I curate my feed so that the algorithm shows me things that are not going to make me feel like shit. Because
Yeah.
it used to be like, oh, I follow these people who, you know, are like, oh, work harder and don't eat and grind. Now
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
for
fuck
me,
all that.
like
that
I just
shit.
want to
Yeah.
see puppies
Hustle
and tits.
culture, diet culture.
Yeah.
That's like half the internet.
I just want to see puppies and tits all the time.
That's my feed, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Hunter
What
always
about
makes fun of me
puppies
'cause-
with tits.
When I first got on TikTok, the feed was almost entirely people with Down syndrome. Like that was recommended. Before I like hit like or anything,
That's what you're into.
Features on TikTok.
they just that was their first guess.
I feel like they go probably right away based off like stuff you've Googled and shit, right?
I don't know if that's all connected.
Well, China runs TikTok, so who knows?
yeah. I
but-
have no idea why they
When
thought
I
that
first
about
got
me.
on it was just like, yeah, like teenagers dancing.
I have no idea what your porn search is just like girls with Down syndrome.
Ew, I'd
They
like to
did-
state it truly is not.
They did just hire the first. This is a good dumb
Oh,
bitch
yeah.
news. Dumb bitch news that will make you sad.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dumb bitch news. We're fucking dumb bitches.
Okay. I will say maybe that's the wrong thing to say before this particular headline. But
I don't know what you're about to say, so we'll find out.
They're not dumb bitches, but they did just hire the first Down syndrome person with-
Representative in Congress.
No,
Were you about to say positive?
no,
Down syndrome positive.
I didn't want to say Down syndrome Victoria's Secret model with Down syndrome.
What? I want to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah,
Is she hot? She has to be.
I learned that because it was the setup for a joke about me at South by
really?
Southwest because he said apparently so did Walmart, but
So they're
That's really funny.
it is funny. Not only would I completely be a Walmart model, yeah.
they're pandering Victoria's Secret because like everybody got at them for being like very not inclusive as far as like their models all being like tiny size 0 and
I mean, but here's the thing: like she's still got
she's still a zero.
she's still got like a bikini bod.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I think it's great that we're normalizing sexualizing retarded people. I think it's really
But no,
important.
it's
Now I
true.
don't have to hide it anymore.
I mean, look,
Everybody wants to fuck.
Everyone
Unless you're
deserves
asexual.
to get laid. I don't know like where it becomes like wrong because like I
have an idea.
because one time I was on Gary Peterson's co-host to co-host like podcast, and I was talking about liking hot dummies with big dicks, and he was like, "Is there ever
Yeah.
any point where they're too dumb?" And I was
When
like,
you find
yes.
a miniature
I
train
said-
in the pee
I
hole.
said, well, if it would ever, if they were so dumb that it'd be considered like a crime if I fucked them, that's probably too dumb.
Here's my so I don't have a problem. There's a Down syndrome model. I do have a problem that the
I'm glad
company
you don't have a problem with
the
it.
company associated with Jeffrey Epstein is peddling someone with Down syndrome.
Is that true? I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know
Victoria's
that either.
Secret and Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah.
That's the
Well, they
secret?
also use prison
Yeah.
labor. Victoria's Secret, I know that.
yeah.
Victoria's Secret hires its first underage model. We're really being inclusive here. No, Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Like, I think it's good to see yourself represented as sexy,
Nicole's like,
as long as you're of age.
You can relate more to the girl with Down syndrome than any of the other models.
I mean, no, I mean, not me, but
I just love the way when people are trying to throw out their tolerance, you immediately sound like you have a gun to your head.
I think
It's good. Holding a newspaper with today's date.
Well, here's my question, and I'm a dude. Clarification: I'm a dude.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe I just don't.
could have
get
had me
something.
fooled with those beautiful titties.
Thank you. So as a dude, no, like, isn't the purpose of modeling is to sell objects?
Yes. Well,
Is-
it's to sell
what-
clothing.
Which is an like that isn't
Yeah.
so isn't. Are we celebrating that we're objecting this retarded person? Kind of.
Stop calling him retarded.
First and
He can
foremost.
say that.
He's one of them.
It's okay.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I guess Victoria's Secret models in general, you could say is objectification. I don't know, but like,
And I don't either. I'm just curious.
but like, I guess, people who get left out of being objectified might want to be objectified sometimes.
It's like whatever you're not allowed
you don't
to do.
get
you
it
wanna
because
do.
you've never been left out of it because you're a sexy object.
Yes.
But like,
You're a hot
And
slut.
as a objectified Down syndrome.
I think if you've never been objectified, maybe you want to get objectified every once in a while. I don't know.
that makes sense.
I don't really I don't have any experience really with people with Down syndrome, so I don't know what the level of like consent and all that stuff
Right,
is. in
that's
their
a
mind.
Oh, it's
tricky thing,
super
I think.
illegal. That's the thing is you can't have sex with a Down syndrome person.
Well,
I have.
no,
It's illegal.
is that really illegal?
It's not illegal.
Yes.
What do you mean it's illegal?
It's illegal.
Yeah, if they're underage, Tom. But they can have sex.
Look up if that's
with
illegal.
other Down
Let
syndrome.
me go to private browser.
I'm sure.
Wait.
Also, I'm sure if you have Down syndrome, you can sleep with people with Down syndrome.
You're more likely to date because I had a few hair clients who had Down syndrome and they had Down syndrome boyfriends. So I guess they're more
Yeah.
likely to be meeting guys who are in their
And
their field.
and like I feel like because I'm really just basing this off of the one actress like from Glee that had Down syndrome or whatever, but she seemed like she'd be able
Well, there's
to
high
It's a
functioning.
spectrum.
yeah, she
Yeah,
seems like
yeah.
she'd be able to consent to
I
sex.
can't find a clear answer.
What did you Google?
Is it illegal to fuck people?
No, I said, is it illegal to have a relationship with somebody with Down syndrome?
This is probably why you got you Google shit like this on podcasts, and that's why they showed you the TikToks.
I'm incognito.
And they didn't have a clear answer.
No, it seems like
What did they tell you?
I feel like
seems like
that
it
would
goes to
be
court.
unfair to them.
Yeah, for it to be illegal, that doesn't
Yeah,
seem right.
because like they should be able to enjoy them.
I mean, so the argument is if you have a mentality of, let's say, a 9-year-old.
Well, then you're like fucking a
So,
9-year-old.
like, that's where it's like, okay, that's a problem if someone who,
yeah, you need to be like mentally on par with your partner.
yeah.
If you're both
otherwise-
9-year-olds, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone with the mentality of a 9-year-old fucks a 9-year-old, then
Is
we're
that
then
illegal?
we're getting into
Progress.
no, then we're getting into Michael Jackson. That's how I always felt like about Michael Jackson. Is I'm like, Michael Jackson was
Was stuck in his
literally
childhood.
he still had like the brain of a child. I'm not like defending.
Well, he was smart enough to like
Manipulate
undercut the
them.
Beatles and buy their catalog and then
Yeah,
sell it and
I don't know
make
if he
a
had the
huge
brain.
He
profit.
designed a theme park in his backyard.
I don't know if he
Yeah,
had the
I
brain
don't
as a
know about
child.
all that.
well, I think
He was smart enough to become white.
I think he
was robbed
designed
of
the.
his childhood.
I think he designed. Did you say he's smart enough to become white?
Yes.
I think he designed the theme park like
Which is a
for
joke.
himself. Like I think he like truly.
You don't think
Just-
he
Yeah, my brother used to design
went-
theme parks on fucking Roller Coaster Tycoon too.
I'm not saying anything about Michael Jackson's actions. I'm just saying that like I do think that Michael Jackson really like his childhood was so fucked up.
Well, yeah,
That
he
I
was
agree
robbed
with.
of his childhood, so he
Yeah.
probably was stuck in a weird spot for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But I think he still had the intelligence to know what he was
Yeah, at
doing.
some point, it's your responsibility to deal with your shit.
Yeah.
no matter
But
what was
that's-
done to you.
That's literally every serial killer, every fucking pedophile. Something happened to them when they were a kid, most likely. It's usually a cycle. It's not usually like, but it's like, who was the first pedophile? God? Like, who fucking. If, like, where did it start? You
Greece.
know? That's true.
I'm
was
assuming
before
It's,
Greece.
it's a Greek word. That's the only reason why I assume.
Well, also, it used to be like normal to fuck kids, right?
Well,
Yeah,
it used to
back
be
then.
that the life expectancy wasn't that like old.
Yeah, you're
so-
like gonna die at 25, so like 10, you're like middle aged.
like
or
there's
whatever.
a reason we start our periods when we're kids. Like
Okay, child bride Nicole.
that podcast is
She
the
can say
dumbest
that. She
Like,
thing in
used to
the
be a
world.
kid.
Listen.
I literally like I've probably said so many things this episode that could get me in trouble.
This is one of the few episodes where I'm like, I don't think I've said the most offensive thing.
Dude, look, I haven't slept in 3 days, and I'm so sorry if I've
No,
said
you're
anything
fine. You didn't say anything
man.
wrong. Continue your pro pedophile thing.
No, I'm not pro pedophile. I'm just it does get like
There's a reason girls bleed at 12.
I want to hear this defense. Or we could just stop it there and you cannot defend it. We got a promo clip.
I wasn't saying no. I was saying like because back then that's when women were bearing children.
Back when?
Back when
They were 12.
back when the life expectancy was lower, right?
I mean, Pocahontas was like 13, right? Or who's the one on the
Yeah,
coin?
but she
Yeah,
was
but
a
that
MILF
was-
at that
Sacagawea,
point.
But that
she was
was
like
fucked up.
13 with Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, that was fucked up though.
And girls do.
I'm not saying any of this is right.
It's fucked up, yeah.
I'm saying
The history. Yeah, that
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
that is the
historically.
history.
historically, a society has been fucked up. You know,
Yes.
in more ways than one.
We're literally just made to reproduce and, yeah, as young as 13 and be raped and whatever.
I think you have more
We're
value
just meant
than
to be
that.
raped at
I'm
13
going
and
to go
that's it.
out there and say you can do other things. Don't limit
Just
yourself
post that
that
clip
much.
of me like, we're just meant to get raped at 13 and that's it.
Somebody's been reading the Bible.
Dude, this is just a random thing you just reminded me of.
I can't wait to see what the follow-up is.
Yeah. This
Everything
podcast
I've
has
said
been
has
sweat.
nothing to do with anything.
After we were all designed to be raped, I'm so curious.
My mom burned a Bible.
Hell yeah.
Because she was raised Catholic and she had like bad Catholic guilt or whatever. We weren't raised religious at all, like, because she was married when she was 18, and then like multiple things pissed her off about the church. One being they were basically like, oh, you have to let your husband rape you if he wants to, basically,
Right.
in
Well,
whatever Christian terms.
That was I feel like a thing up until like pretty recently.
Yeah.
People were like, yeah, if you're married, like
So there was that, and then there was the fact that like when she divorced her high school sweetheart and got married to my dad at 23, and they were like, you can't get married in the church unless you pay for an annulment, and she was like, okay, fuck that. And then my brother was gay, so she stopped believing in God. But not like she just like can't be down with religion. I don't fucking believe in any religion, but anyway, so. But she was about to burn this like beautiful. She burned a couple Bibles, but she was gonna burn my grandma's beautiful Bible. But I saved it so that I can do a photo shoot, masturbating behind it in a nun costume.
I remember that.
I was like, "Don't burn that Bible! I want to use it
I need
for
to
something."
use it as a prop.
Because it was like a cool one with like a wooden case that like looks. It's got like weird. It's like old as fuck, and it's got weird like it's like worn down, and it looks like a demon. You know what I mean? It looks like a prop from a horror movie. I love
Okay,
it. But
That's sick. But she burned it?
Yeah, no, I saved that one
saved
from
it.
getting burned. She burned other Bibles, and she burned her wedding dress, but she's still married to my dad. She was just like, I don't need this anymore.
Has she heard of like a trash can?
Well, it's not like she's burning shit that's like plastic and shit, but like she's just like, all right, we'll ceremoniously burn it.
Symbolic,
It's a
yeah.
Yeah, we have campfires in the backyard a lot, so she just burns shit that can get burnt. But she also went through like a big organization thing and just like got rid of a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
One time we were having a bonfire at my friend's house in Georgia, and this dude we were under like this railroad overpass, and this dude just threw trash carpet onto the fire. We were all hanging out, and all of a sudden it was just carpet burning, like plastic and black
oh
smoke.
god.
And we were like, what the fuck did you do that for? And he goes, in Greene County, we just burn our trash. Like at parties.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah. That's the most redneck thing I've ever. Well, you know, somebody's really country when they say they're from a county.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not from a town.
Yep. Yeah. No, that is. Yeah. Well, there a lot of them don't have towns.
Right.
A lot of the town is like, we just have a place where the male lives, and then the rest of it is 9 miles apart.
Last time I saw a burning trash carpet, it was on your mom.
It took me a second to figure it out. Wait, my mom's pubes were on fire?
I think it was more of like an STD joke.
Okay.
Yeah. She has a trash pussy with an STD. I'm tired.
I think your mom has a great pussy.
Thanks, Tom.
Sorry.
This episode needs a paywall.
It really does. I'm really nervous
Does your mom
about
listen
it.
to podcasts?
You're nervous about
Does
it?
your mom listen to podcasts?
She's not alive.
Oh, now I feel really bad.
I forgot about that.
That's okay.
Oh, did you think I was
It's
making
a
a
little
dead mom
dead
joke?
trash.
I was wondering if it was like a cremation joke at first. I didn't know. Which is whatever.
my
Do your
God.
thing.
I'm so sorry.
I'm okay.
I was following her lead. I'm just
The
a dumb
anniversary of
bitch
death was
follower.
2 days ago, too.
Well, we do like bury trash, right? Is that what we do with it now, right?
I guess.
Throw it in the ocean. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
You know the podcast is
rest
going
in
wild
peace.
when you telling a story about jerking off in front of a Bible, like, is the relief. Oh, good, a lighthearted
something a
story.
little.
Finally, something lighthearted. In a nun costume,
This
beating
is
it.
this is literally anytime I have a conversation with anyone, like if literally people in the store, I'll go from like talking about the weather to like extreme like talks about like just society and how fucked up it is. I can't help but spiral like real hard.
Sure. Yeah, well, you're in the right profession.
Yeah.
I think like maybe just chunks of this episode should be cut out and literally will be our first like maybe Patreon episode.
We have maybe 7 minutes of not offensive content on this.
Yeah.
All the other episodes have been like, I love being friends with you.
What the hell, Nicole? Can you tell me you love being friends
I love
with me?
being
Tell
friends
me why
with
you love
Lindsey.
me.
I love being friends with Lindsey so much.
Am I holding a gun to her head now?
I did have something to say when we were talking about okay, so before the trash carpet thing, what were we talking about? Burning stuff. I don't remember. I had something so
This is a bad
relevant to talk about.
Yeah. Getting away from Lindsay's question.
Yeah, why do you love me?
She asked you a direct question.
She's like,
You're
why? I like burning
trash,
things.
Fire, something else. I forgot.
I like huge messes.
By the way, I have talked on several episodes about how much I love you, but then the minute you're on,
Yeah. For
You
the
know-
first half of the episode, you didn't even look at me. I was like, all right, whatever.
well, because
I
I'm
was
not looking at
distracting
anything.
her.
I'm so out of it. I am so sorry to everyone on this podcast right now.
We're
I'm
having
trying.
fun.
No, don't be
I'm
sorry.
trying so
I love you.
I love you. Lindsey and I met. You know what's funny? I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like the first time I met you, and I truly believe that this is the highest compliment to a woman. The first time I ever met you, I was like, "Fuck this bitch, I hate her,"
Why?
because you were so hot, and like I was dating someone at the time, and you walked up and you just went, "Hi," and I'm like
to the person?
yes, to the person I was dating. And I was just like, fuck, I hate this woman. And then like literally
Then I did the same thing to you, probably.
yeah, well, no, and then I got to know you, and I was like, oh, this bitch is fucking awesome. And then we became close friends very fast. So,
Yeah.
but I have a lot of insecurity. It makes me a bad feminist. So when there's a hot woman, my immediate thought is fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't think you're the exception to that, though.
No. What
Yeah.
do you mean? Like, you don't think that that's
No, that's a common thing.
Yeah. Most of the, at least verbally, most of the people I know who talk the most shit on women are women.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Well,
I mean, like,
maybe not. I'm like, well, yeah, well, no.
Doing terrible things, men. Saying terrible things.
No,
women.
here's the problem. Everyone talks shit on women.
But
like,
it's because we're
men,
fucking.
women,
It's because of how we're conditioned by the patriarchy to
conditioned-
be in competition with each
Yeah.
other, to talk shit about each other.
Which I don't agree with. I don't agree with the patriarchy. Just,
Oh, I thought you said you don't agree with what she said. I think you're full of shit, bitch. Shut the fuck
the
up.
patriarchy is
Patriarchy, boo!
Shut up and fight for my affection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why like men try that bullshit thing where they try to compliment you by putting down other women, which we've like.
I
talked
fucking
about.
hate that.
Yes.
We used to love it. I used to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm hotter than any girl you've ever seen. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, okay, I don't need you to put down other women to like make
Yeah,
me feel
now
like
it makes me
you're not
more-
like other girls. Or like guys on dating apps, well, you're the coolest girl I've talked to on here. I'm like, you're a fucking loser and I'm only talking to you because you have abs.
Yeah. Well,
Take
'cause
that, patriarchy.
Yeah. I'm gonna sexualize you.
now I think like now that I'm thinking about it, the like condition to, because I've like talked about this on stage a little bit, is like me having to convince myself that really hot women are dumb. Like I think I've talked to you about this because like
Yeah.
I was like I used
In
to
high
be
school,
I used
yeah.
to be that person where like I had to like because it was because I was really self-conscious and I would be like thinking I was ugly or whatever, and I would have guy friends be like, no, but you're cool, you have like a personality, like you're smart, like whatever. Like that would be them like talking me up. They'd be like, yeah, but like these bitches, like they don't have a personality, like they're dumb,
Yeah.
like whatever. And that's how they would make me feel better. And so like I had to convince myself in my mind that like, oh, it's cool that I'm not super hot because I have a personality and I'm smart, and like a hot woman can't be
have a
smart and have a
personality or be smart,
personality, you
yeah.
know, like yeah, it fucking sucks. It sucks that like we are taught that if someone else, if another woman has like, you know, is pretty or smart or like whatever, then
They're lacking
then
in
that
something
makes
else.
us less. Or
Yeah.
and then we have to convince ourselves that it's really fucked up. And I think we've come a long way in you know, figuring that stuff out. I think honestly, I think fucking Gen Z is
Yeah, they're
a
doing
lot
it.
better
They're
with
doing
that
it.
shit. I think they're a lot better with that shit.
I feel like when I first started doing comedy, like I had an insecurity about getting booked because I was hot, and then I gained weight. Now I know I'm funny, and now I'm like, I'm not getting booked because I'm not hot anymore. Like I don't know. I used to like I was more worried about not being funny, and now I'm more
Yeah.
worried about not being hot.
that is the yeah, it's weird because I was talking to a friend about this, how I was like insecure about not being hot, and she was saying the same thing. She was like, yeah, but like I was told my whole life like that I was pretty, and that was like the only thing I was told.
Right.
And so like my
then you only put
insecurities-
value on your looks.
Yeah. And she was like, so like I'm jealous of you, and then like I heard that as I'm jealous of you because you're ugly, bitch.
Oh my god.
But no, it's just yeah, like I think that a lot of times we are like put in a box of just like you can't be a well-rounded, you can't just be a person as a woman. You have to be like, oh, she's a hot woman, she's a smart woman.
Yeah, she's either a
like,
thought or she's wifey material.
Exactly. Like you have to be like put in these boxes, and you can't just be like a fucking person.
Yeah, like
it's-
I'm a huge slut, and I also can cook, and I also can be a great fucking, you know, partner, whatever. Not that I have to
Is
cook,
there a
but
stereotype that sluts can't cook?
there's a stereotype. It's like, I guess it's
Well,
just
it is
the
the Madonna whore complex.
Yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
like the girl you don't bring home to mom.
Yeah.
Like there's the girl
Right.
that's gonna like cook and clean and be like a good
That
wife. And
idea.
then there's like
Sure,
the,
gotcha.
that idea.
slut, which
You should do a cooking channel called Sluts Can Cook.
Dude, actually, I've been like
for a
debating
while I
getting
was a
back on
virgin that
Twitch.
couldn't cook. So.
Well, I cook on OnlyFans sometimes. Like,
Sure.
I'll just, cause like I'll go live on OnlyFans, and like I'm not gonna do anything unless they're gonna pay me. So like I'm just gonna cook myself a meal, and if you guys want to like give me $50, I'll take my shirt off. Give me $50, I'll take my pants off. Once I get to $200, it's a cum show or whatever. But yeah, so I would.
I enjoyed that your cum show leg was the same
It's
as
a
your
cum
IP
show.
leg.
The same as my what? IP leg. the other day I was in the hot tub at what's it called, at Mark's house, and we were talking to just some like random dudes, and the guy was like, "You guys want some tequila?" And I swear to God, my leg just went up without even thinking about it and came out of the pool like it was like a reflex. He was like, "You want tequila?" And my leg was just like, "What?"
That's like you're like a dog wagging its tail.
Yeah.
I was thinking how funny it'd be when you were talking about the patriarchy and stuff if I had a music cue of what they play when somebody's Oscar speech goes on too long. And I just hit music over it.
I was when you guys were going back and forth. I was like, okay, I shouldn't do this, but I was debating, going, girls, you're both right. Like you were fighting. I was like, I should just shut the fuck up and let him have this moment.
That's funny that we were both. You were
Nothing.
just,
Yeah, we were both running different bits.
Yeah,
and
you're
going,
like,
"Nope,
we can't
go
possibly
ahead,
listen
go
to
ahead."
what these two girls are saying.
I was listening. Because I was listening, I didn't say anything. Because if I, yeah.
Oh, God.
no, it's because I'm immature and I get scared when things are serious.
I don't even remember. Were we talking about something serious?
We were talking about
You
the
should have
patriarchy.
listened to
I'm
yourself.
on mushrooms. I should have listened to myself.
Yes.
I know I've just microdosed. I'm not like actually on mushrooms.
Gotcha.
I'm not actually on mushrooms. I just microdosed.
God, I really can't remember what I was gonna say when we were talking about burning shit.
That does drive me crazy when I can't remember, and especially when you're tired because you know you're like, I'm not at my fucking best right now, and you're like, oh.
I mean, I'm never at my best. But I'm at my worst at the moment.
no, you're not.
But you guys are carrying it, and I thank you. But yeah, the fucking I
like to burn.
I
shit.
actually started realizing it when that whole like Gone Girl, remember that movie Gone Girl?
Yeah.
And then she made that whole speech about like, you know, like having to be like the cool girl all the time, and how like you know, like that you have to be like hot, but also you have to like be able to like eat a burger and like whatever, and it's you kind of got to be like all the things, but then because
Everything is contradictory what you're expected to do. Be
I
the
think
cool
every
girl.
human has that though. I mean, guys have that too, where you're like supposed to be masculine but sensitive.
that's yes, and we've
Yeah, it's
talked
like the
about
same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
No, that's it's on the same thing.
No, I mean,
You think that's not the same thing?
No, I think that there's a lot of pressure on men to be masculine and stuff, and I think that's something that's not talked about enough. The fact that like men also have emotions and should also be sensitive and shouldn't be treated like they're not human, like, and that they should be tough and not cry or whatever. But I do think that women are more oppressed than men still.
Sure, I agree
So I
with
don't
that.
think
I'm
it's
just
the
saying that
same.
everybody's supposed to be like,
Have some
there's
sort
some
of
ideal version that you're supposed to aspire to of
Yeah.
whatever you are.
yeah.
And it's like impossible to achieve
It's
no matter
always
what you are.
impossible. Yeah.
well, yeah, everyone has the in their
Unless you're
brain.
Larry Bird.
In their brain, like the
Who wants to be Shaq?
it's the guy or the girl in the movies. Like they're both of them. You know, the guy in the movies, like the hot guy that is tough and like protects you and will punch a guy out of the bar for fucking talking to you. But he also has a sensitive side, but he only shows it to you. And like he fucks really good because
he's repressed.
He's fucked all the time, but he fucks all the time and he's kind of a man whore. But then he gives it all up for you because he
Right.
loves you and whatever. And like it's just like they want like everything.
Every
all at once.
rom-com is like super toxic.
I think you said it
Right,
right
and
the
then
first time.
And then
What did I say?
rom-con.
I think that's 100%
Oh, I
right.
thought you said ron-com.
No.
No.
That's Ron Jeremy in a sitcom.
Ron Howard comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Every rom-com.
I think,
Yeah.
No, I think Khan is right.
It's a con.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Word
Yeah,
play.
and then
I didn't get it.
it's like the guy's like that, and then the girl is like she's super hot, but she also like fucking eats like anything she wants, and she
Right,
also
right.
is like I can
I
bring
like
her.
a girl who can eat.
Yeah, and she and then she but
But
she's
be
still,
skinny.
She still has like the perfect figure, and
Yeah.
like then she also likes sports, but then she also is like can
Girly.
dress up and look hot, and like yeah.
Well, it's always like the behavior of the men that's supposed to be like romantic and cute is always stalkerish, you know?
It really is.
It's like standing
It really
outside with a
fucking is.
radio. Like if somebody
Yeah.
did that to you, you'd be fucking freaking
Hiring
out.
a mariachi band to play outside your window at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The iPod.
Or any of the rom-coms that like existed like before cell phones, where they just start like showing up wherever you are.
Yeah.
And, like
Very creepy. Yeah.
That's why I'm glad that one show You came out. Like,
I love that show.
Because it's like this is what it actually is.
Right.
Like this is what it actually is when someone is showing up everywhere you are and knows what all your like favorite things are. It's because they're fucking stalkers.
Dude, I'm that dude. When I have a crush on people, not that I do that shit, but like I will find out everything. Like a lot of girls are like that. I'm sure guys are like that
like
too.
in high school, I was like
We'd be more successful if we were.
in high school, like I was like. I mean, we all, like, me and, like, my friends were like, oh, let's go drive by our crush's house. Like, that's creepy as fuck. Like, now that you think about it, like, let's go see if his car's there.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like,
So
it's weird that we even got joy out of just, like, driving by and knowing that they were there. Like, ooh, he's there.
Yeah.
I'm wet. Like,
Locations make me horny. Location.
I recently drove by my ex's house just out of curiosity. Because this is triggering. My new therapist is right by my ex-boyfriend's house, who beat the shit out of me.
oh my God.
Yeah, so it's interesting. And I
tell
did,
that therapist to move.
Yeah.
I did drive by
Or
his
do
house.
FaceTime therapy.
That's
what I've been doing.
She won't do FaceTime. And I love her so much. I drive an hour to see her. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm really glad. Like, didn't you started therapy recently, right?
Yeah, so it took me so long to find a therapist. And so I'll just mention this too, because I've like helped a lot of people find therapy. Anybody who has like a job, whether it's like a government job or a corporate job, most of those jobs have an employee assistance program where anybody in your family can find a therapist through them. And like it took me, I didn't like take advantage of that until I really exhausted my other options, which was
took advantage of the OnlyFans assistance.
No, they don't. Actually, I wanted to mention they do. That'd be good if they do. But
they should.
No, my brother's
way.
my little brother's a librarian, so
Yeah.
his job has the employee assistance program. But I literally called. They gave me like a bunch of numbers. I called every fucking number on the list. Every one was like, we have a 500+ person wait list, and we can't even add you to it. Like everybody's dying to get therapy, and nobody can get it. So I did the employee assistance program. They found me. It was really funny because you talk to like a social worker for an hour on the phone, and then they assess you kind of, and then like find somebody who would be good for you. And I didn't even say anything about my sexuality, which like I'm sexually fluid, but like they were like, I told her I do online sex work and whatnot. And first of all, she was like, my therapist she found for me is perfect, would never ask a question like this, but she was like, but you're not like selling your body, right? Which I was like, actually, yeah, I just fucked for money the other day, but I didn't tell her that. But like she, what's it called? She ended up finding me a really great person. I didn't say anything about my sexuality, and I just said that I do online sex work. And she was like, all right, so I'm going to find you an LGBTQ friendly. Like, she was just like, the sluts and the gays will go together, you know? Like, she'll be fine then. But, I mean, she wasn't wrong, but...
Right.
I mean, she was right, but...
The phrase selling your body is so funny to me.
Everybody
Like,
sells their body. Any job you do is selling your
but
body.
it also, like, for me, I picture, like, actually, like you are cutting
Would you
off...
like my finger?
Yeah, you're like cutting off your finger and like selling it to somebody. Like I feel like you're more like renting out your body.
Renting. Just renting a little space for a studio apartment for a half hour.
Selling your body is that's weird, but renting out your body, why not?
But
there.
it's just like any labor job you do, any construction job is also selling your body.
Sure.
Even sitting at a desk, you have to physically be at that desk. Like, how is that not selling your body?
I agree 100%
Yeah.
right now.
And it's
as long as
You're like, this is so.
I told you this podcast would end on a journey heal.
Yeah.
Healing journey.
Healing.
I knew
journey.
it started swastikas and it goes to the journey of healing.
both Brian and Tom have sold me their bodies, and that's why they're here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I gave it for free.
Yeah, you're a slut, so
Yeah. I'm a horrible business whore.
yeah. And I appreciate it. You know what?
I love when you nod after you say stupid shit. I love
Like
the nod.
just a reassurance.
Right, guys?
Validation.
Well, when I can tell that, okay, the thing I said isn't going to get a laugh, so I'm just going to double down by acting like a parrot.
I've talked about this, but like sluts are nice. Like that's a nice thing to do. is to fuck people.
Dude, I really do believe I have a joke about it, like how I like sucked this, like I fucked a guy with a small dick, but he sent me a dick pic that looked big, whatever. I have a joke about it, and I say like I stayed because somebody
give a photography class.
I was like, somebody has to reduce the school shooter rate, and I really believe it's true. If you suck a small dick, you save some lives. I really think that's real.
How old was this person still going to school?
No. But a lot of school shooters are not in high school still.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Sandy Hook.
I don't know.
And they're vegan.
I don't know the stats. Yeah, I thought they were
really
mostly in
I'm
high
just
school
fucking
still.
15.
We're really just profiling school
For the
shooters as
country.
vegans with small dicks.
No meat in the situation.
I think like because I realized that like once I did start like having sex, because like it took me a while to start having sex. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 22, but I was already a people pleaser. You know, I already had trouble saying no to people, whether it was hanging out with people, whether it was like doing things for people, whatever. So it was just natural progression into not being able to say no.
Oh God.
When a guy wanted to sleep with me for a while, so I was like, I'm not a slut. I'm just like a people pleaser.
Oh my
you know?
God.
Like, I just can't say no.
It's better to be a slut.
Yeah, I know.
I do
Yeah,
the
it's
same
less
thing, but I'm a
desperate.
slut.
Honestly, I think sluts, like, if you're a slut, you're doing it for you. If you're
Well,
a people pleaser,
yeah.
you're just like, you know, what can, yeah, it's not even for you.
I've fucked people just because I knew they really wanted to fuck me, though.
Really, Tom?
Have you really?
Like you were like, I'm gonna give you this gift to fucking.
No,
me.
sex gives, like if I don't know the person well, I get a panic attack.
You're like, let me bless you with this dick.
Some people find me attractive.
look,
I'm not
Lindsey.
saying
You
you're
don't
not
have to be
attractive.
mean.
I'm just saying it's a
Here's
funny
the
thing to say.
I mean, Tom has had
You look good with
multiple people be crazy over him.
Wow.
I don't want to use the word crazy, but
So the dick is good.
I
crazy.
would.
yeah.
I
I would use that word.
Tom, I mean, I sometimes I wonder if everyone has had someone be like crazy over them. but,
Probably.
like-
would. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
And
because
I-
there's no way.
and I feel like in particular, comics attract a certain type of person.
I also think just anybody in their 20s is insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
No matter
sure.
what. That's just like a crazy period in your life.
I was over.
I'm well adjusted.
yeah.
Well, like what you were saying.
I was speaking. Oh, okay.
I think you are.
Oh, I don't think I am, but okay.
Well, because he went through his 20s and his teens. That's
yeah, that is kind of.
When you were saying the people-pleasing thing with sex, though, like, I remember hearing, I think it was, like, Whitney Cummings talking about this, how, like, sometimes she just had sex with people because it was easier than not having sex with people.
Yeah.
And I can relate to being in situations like that where it's, like, especially if you're drunk. Like, I'm drunk, I don't even really want to have sex with this person, but I'm in their bed, or, like, we're already in this situation, and it's, like, it's just easier to do it than to not, which is very rapey. But it's true. Like, girls
sad.
are often in situations like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I've been in that situation, and it's kind of like, it's not rapey because I didn't, like, say no ever. I said yes, but it was, like, in the it's almost like when you like agree to give someone a ride to the
But you don't
airport,
want
you're
to.
like, I said yes to this, but the whole time I'm like, why the fuck did I agree to
thinking about
this?
planning.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
like the whole fucking time.
I'm
you're
sorry.
having
You
sex,
picked me
you're
up
like,
from the
"Can
airport a
this
lot."
just be fucking over. No. Some people, like, when I haven't seen
She's just subconsciously telling, or not subconsciously, but
no, when I haven't
Subliminally.
when I haven't seen someone in a long time, like if it's someone coming into town, like I want to, because like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I haven't seen them in a long time. I want to, like, you know, pick them up, whatever. If it's someone who is like I see all the time, and then they're like, oh, like take me to the airport for when I go to this
No
like
reason.
fucking gig or whatever. Like, no.
I try to rotate friends. Like, you know, I'll ask you one time, and then Jasmine picked me up this time, and then I also always buy people food because I'm like, all right, I could at least buy us a meal,
Lindsey,
and it'll
don't
still be
get-
cheaper than an Uber.
Don't get self-conscious about this. I enjoy picking you up from the airport. It's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say enjoy, but I
worth it
don't
once
mind
you-
doing it at all.
Once you see my,
But I do think that, like, yeah,
Don't even
there.
look at me.
I didn't hear you. You said nobody would look at you.
No, I was like, it's worth it once you see my face, and she's not even looking.
Oh
at
yeah.
me.
Oh, my ego. I thought it was directed at me. Jesus.
No, so I was looking at you and
Yeah.
saying, look at me, Brian.
We have done one episode where I didn't look at the guest once.
Really? What episode? Who was it?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not you. That's all that matters.
I need to know after now.
It is a weird thing when like you're like, well, I agreed to this and now I'm gonna do it, and like the whole time you're just like, I can't wait till this is over. And it's like, it's not their fault, like, because I said yes, like, and they don't know that I'm just like doing it because I don't want to like have to say no.
Dude, when I'm picking people up from the airport, sometimes I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, this is bad for the environment. There's a flyaway shuttle. Are you too good for fucking public transportation? Like,
I think she was talking about the sex at this point, though, right?
I thought you were talking about the airport stuff.
I'm thinking about that stuff during sex too.
That's me whenever
I was waiting for you, like, how does not having sex be what the environmental... I was waiting for the twist.
I still thought we were talking about rides to the airport.
Both.
I'm sure condoms are bad for the environment.
Yeah.
I would say they're very
lambskin
good for
ones.
the environment because we are
less
the
people.
worst. Yes.
Yeah. Pull out method works, though. I feel like if you... I don't know.
I haven't... Has anyone met a pull-out baby?
No, like I'm saying, like I've never gotten pregnant, and I have had so much unprotected sex. Like it's amazing.
And you're not on birth control or anything?
No.
Like
Yeah, actually,
I got off it.
I don't know if parents often
actually same.
But yeah,
I'm hoping I'm infertile at this point.
that's what I was hoping too, but I don't think so. I think we're probably.
As far as the pull-out baby, though, I don't think parents, like, that's not really something you
Yeah,
tell your
they're
kid
not like,
often.
yeah, we accidentally had you because we.
Yeah.
I
was trying to bust on your mother's face, but...
Yeah.
But they do tell them sometimes when they were gonna. They say when they're an accident.
Yeah,
so.
sure.
Yeah, just be like, you're an accident because I nutted early.
But I think that.
Or, yeah.
Go
I
get
think
me a drink.
usually.
Yeah.
I think usually when it's a pull-out baby, I feel like that's when I think that's what when teen pregnancy happens, because I feel like teenage boys don't
Have
know
less
how
control.
to pull out yet.
It can, like, you can trick yourself very easily as a dude on the approximate timing of the nut,
Yeah.
especially when you're a teenager.
It's like BMX jumping. Like, you have to learn doing it. Well, all of a sudden
The timing.
You're 12 feet in the air on a bike, and that's the only way you can learn how to do it. It's like the same thing.
Well, that's just how I feel about sex in general. Like, I feel like.
Like a bike?
Yeah. Well, no, like.
Like riding a bike.
No, I feel like the first time you do it, like, you have to do it. And that's like scary, or it was.
It's
me.
anything. It's like that Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. It's like, do the thing, and then you'll get the energy to do the thing. Or like, it's like you're never gonna learn how to
I
do
thought
it.
that was Nike.
Just do
Just do
it.
it.
It's like you're never gonna know how to do something until you do it. So it's like just like when you go to hair school or whatever. Like you're not gonna be able to cut hair by learning in a textbook. You have to just do it. So somebody's gonna get a shitty haircut. Somebody's gonna get a shitty tattoo if you're.
Right.
I feel like I heard that quote in like a New Jersey Turnpike gas station stop. I think I'm dead serious. I think there's an Emerson. You know how all the exits on the New
On the
Jersey
Amtrak,
Turnpike?
like
it's
Darren
like mind the
Bukowski?
gap and do the thing, and then you'll get the energy to do the
All the
thing.
exits are named after like poets and shit.
Oh,
and
are
they have
they?
like quotes and stuff. Yeah, it's really strange.
That
This is in New Jersey?
New Jersey on the Turnpike.
that
Yeah.
somebody's gonna get a shitty haircut is hilarious. Like losing your virginity is like, the first person you have sex with is gonna get a shitty haircut. I actually, you know what? That makes me feel better. Like, I used to be mad about the person I lost my virginity to, but like, really,
Practice.
he got the sex he deserved.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
For
And
sure.
you're only going up.
Yeah. Don't save yourself for someone who deserves it. You know, or I mean, yeah, save the good sex for someone who deserves it.
Right,
You
it's
know,
like-
get the shitty stuff out of the way with
Can-
someone.
Imagine like waiting till your wedding night to fuck somebody and then it's just awful. Like that probably happens so much.
Yeah, I mean,
And sorry, I was gonna say like there was a show I watched about like the Orthodox Jewish community, and that's like, you know how it goes. Like they're just like they have to have sex with the man on the night of, and it's usually probably not gonna be good. You know?
Yeah.
yeah, they do. Yeah,
Are those arranged marriages as well?
Yeah.
Are they arranged?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what your definition of arranged is.
Right.
No. Well,
No,
I just meant this documentary. Yeah, the people in the documentary.
Yeah, because that's how weird is that? Like the thing, like those. I don't know, like in exactly what cultures these are, but I know like when like you get married and then like basically they just like carry you into the next room like to go fuck, and like the whole family just knows you're fucking in the next room. Like that's so fucking awkward.
And
like,
most likely,
how do you get hard with all that pressure?
The guy's not gonna know how to like, you know what I mean? They're very sheltered too, so like. In the thing I saw, it was like, you know, no lubrication, nothing. He just fucked her and whatever, you know? So it's like, they don't really know what they're doing. They're not going to fucking make it pleasurable for the girl. They're just going to get it done because the whole point is just reproducing. They're all about, they're all about like,
pleasurable for either of
keeping the Jewish line alive after.
I think I think all three major religions have arranged sections of their religion.
What are the three main religions?
Yeah, like the three Abrahamics. Yeah, the
Muslim,
Islam, Hebrew, and Judaism, Islam, and Christianity.
Yeah,
those are the three big ones in the world.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I think they all have their arranged sections. That would be so easy. Don't you think?
What, to be arranged?
You're like, I wish that's so.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if you want to get married, like if that is something that you like want, like I feel like it's a viable way, like because I don't think a successful marriage has anything to do with love. I really don't.
Sure.
Because like to me, like marriage is which is why like I don't really like want to get
it's a
married.
Small business.
Yeah, it's like it has nothing to do with what you know is a loving relationship. It's just like you're partners and you're having kids and like you're basically business partners where you're like our lives have to work well together. Like we have to be able to raise kids together. So my schedule has to work with your schedule of this, and we have to like be able to like it's basically like. If you could just like create a list of things like this is what I need in a business partner and then marry that person, and then maybe you decide that you're sexually attracted to them at some point, but like
I feel like I read a quote that was like about marriage online one time that was like something like that where it was like a marriage is supposed to be when two people come together to like make each other's lives better or something like that to like benefit both of them. I'm like, that's also just a business.
Well, 100%. I also think that about like people who are in love, because my mom, I remember when I was younger, I used to be like very cynical about relationships, and I used to be like, why the fuck would I want to be in a relationship? Like it's just gonna like put another thing on my plate. Like it's just gonna make my life harder. Like I already have to do this and this and this and this.
Amen, sister.
That's just another thing that you have to maintain. And my mom was like, well, when you're in the right relationship, like you should actually be making things easier for each other. And I've never experienced that
0% of the time.
Really?
For myself or other people.
I mean, like
everyone I know in a relationship is miserable.
When you've been
they're not miserable, but they're like I think a relationship is always work.
When
it can be very rewarding, but it's always a lot. It's never gonna be
any
one
relationship, a
less thing.
friendship,
True.
Especially if you're living with the person, like if you're roommates with somebody, like you have to work at it. But
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But don't you think that like when you've been in love with somebody that like you are kind of, if you love someone, you are constantly thinking about like how you can make things easier and better for them, I feel like.
Well, and you're thinking for two people a lot of time. A lot of relationships are like, okay, well, how are they going to feel if I make this decision?
Sure. Well, that's the annoying part. But like, no, but it's like having someone who like, if you're stressed out, they're thinking like, oh, how can I make this person less stressed out today? Or like, if you are having back problems, they're like, oh, let me like get you a massage or like whatever, like things.
All right, we get it, Nicole. You have a great boyfriend.
See, I have two modes, like very much attentive or so disconnected
in relationships.
Sure.
I get like
never found a healthy balance.
I lose myself in relationships a lot. That's why I'm like always single, because I'll just like give myself over to them fully and like just like kind of put myself on the back burner.
I've done that, and I've done the thing where like I know you're talking, but I'm thinking about my set list. I've done both.
Yeah.
I've been both of the worst versions.
I mean, me too, probably.
Do you think that like that's because you end up in relationships with people who like are constantly taking? Like I feel like if you're willing to give and the other person is also willing to give, like then it doesn't turn into that. It doesn't turn into you like losing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I just only had unsuccessful relationships. No, my last relationship with the person that you know was...
Aren't relationships designed to be unsuccessful 99% of the time, though?
Yeah,
So is
and
it really...
yeah.
Well, the thing that I'm learning too is like just because the relationship didn't last doesn't mean that it wasn't a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Even like with friendships, like I have friends who I'm not friends with anymore, and it's like, well, we still had a good time. We still benefited. We still, you know, made each other's lives better in one way or another. Learned lessons, whatever. So like, you know.
Yeah, and
But-
I think that I've kind of like I make jokes about whatever, like exes being trash and my the guy I lost my virginity to deserving trash sex, but
Yeah.
but no, like I'm truly like thankful for you know what I learned from that experience, and honestly we're cool now, and like I do think that it was successful in the fact that like yeah, I just fucking learned so much, and it was my first like time really experiencing that, and
And you learn what you don't want.
yeah, you absolutely learn what you don't want, and we were talking about like always being a mess in your 20s, and like, you know, so any relationship you're in your 20s is not gonna be perfect or good. Even.
No relationship is ever going to be perfect.
Because
yeah.
like I was even talking about like the other day because someone had, you know, apologized to me for a lot of things that they did, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even angry at you anymore. Like I'm more, whenever I think about it, I'm just like angry at myself for like the pathetic person that I was when I
too.
was like 22 to 25. Like I have legit anger, like not for that person, but I have anger for the person that I was when I was 22 to 25
See,
years
for
old.
me,
But-
I'm always like, I'm so sorry I was so dope. back
It,
then.
it honestly just goes back to conditioning too, though, because like we're desperate like that because of what we're told, like we're supposed to be married by a certain time or whatever. Like obviously
Yeah.
things are changing now, but like there's still that expectation of like if you don't find a partner by a certain age, you're like worthless, especially as a woman.
I didn't even like, I never cared about getting married or even being in a relationship. It was like needing to feel at that time. I just like, and still do sometimes, but like I really needed to feel loved. Like I felt
Yeah.
like if this person doesn't love me, I'm not validated in being a worthwhile human being. And so like once you get in that mindset with somebody, like you're just not going to give up on it. And then the more they pull away, the more you're like, oh, well now I have to prove that I can
Right.
prove that I'm worthy to this person,
I have
then I'm worthy.
I do that with guys I fuck. Like it's
Yeah.
like I won't even like a guy at all, and then I have sex with him, and then like it's literally science. The oxytocin in my brain is like, oh, you should make this person love you.
Yeah. You know what I was saying yesterday? Because look, I like watching trash TV. I like reality TV. I don't care.
Do you guys fuck with baking shows?
Baking
Yes.
shows.
Well, those are comfort shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I fucking love.
Fucking-
I love that shit.
Bake Squad?
But no, I watch the Great British Bake.
Yeah, but I watch that
Too
every now and then.
British.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too
fuck
British.
with Bake Squad.
I've never watched Bake Squad,
me
but I
neither.
like, but I like the real trashy ones where it's like, because to me it's like people watching, but like
Housewives
from your
type shit.
living room. Well, no, I was watching The Bachelor. I was watching The Bachelor, and I was watching like the reunion of like the women, and I was like, you know what really pisses me off is like these women are literally like, there's like a doctor, a pilot, like whatever, and when they speak like just on their own, like they are so like smart and like great women, and then you get them all in a room together like trying to win a dude's affection, and they just sound like the dumbest. They just sound so stupid, and I'm like, this makes me so mad that you can just
But
take
that's- okay.
a bunch of very intelligent, capable women and just they turn into mush brains because of some hot dude standing in front of them.
It's because women are so I heard this actually from Jordan Peterson's fucking daughter. Like I somehow came across that on, but like this is true that if a man has the higher the man's IQ is, the more likely he is to be married. The higher a woman's IQ is, the less likely she is to be married.
I heard this too. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and it's like per point, it gets like the statistics get less and less. You know what I mean? Like you're less and less likely to get married the higher. So I'm fucked because I'm a genius. But it's true.
So, Lindsey, what do you think is the worst part of being alive?
The maintenance. The
Yes.
life maintenance, like just like having no matter, like you just have to do so many things to stay alive, and like you have to eat enough every day. You have to fucking, and then if you want to not feel like shit, you have to do some sort of movement. You know, like if you want to like not have a crickety crackety body all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd say like for me, just like trying, like I forget to eat. Like I used to think people who forgot to eat were fucking idiots. I'd be like, how do you forget to eat? Food is so good. But
Yeah.
now. Then I got depressed.
Yeah.
And like I just will like it's just hard to maintain. You have to make like if I don't eat breakfast, which I never want to eat breakfast, but like if I don't, I'm gonna feel like shit, and then I'm gonna go the whole day without eating, and then I'm gonna eat something shitty, and then I'm gonna feel like shit, and whatever. I don't think of foods as like good or bad anymore, but it's like obviously you still have to have some nutrition. Like I'll eat fast food, but I also make sure I eat vegetables and fruit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It is so much. I've talked about how I have to like literally write down like get out of bed, take a shower, brush your teeth. Fucking like I have to write down every single because like it's a lot.
And it never ends, and it's just like I have to do this till I fucking die.
Yeah.
And then also working, obviously.
Yeah.
That's the word. Making money. I mean, I make money easily now, but like. You know, I think for the average person, making money is probably like the fact that we have to have jobs to exist is so fucked up. My nipple's totally out. I knew it was gonna happen.
I've been trying so hard. It keeps popping out, and I've been trying to make eye contact with it.
To
pops
give me
out,
a little
and
heads up.
I have no-
You're like, you're with me.
the reason that's why I kept looking at Brian out of
we're
nowhere.
both
was because-
nipples out.
Yeah,
I have not been
well, it's
trying at
different.
all.
I'm a
I've been
dude.
straight
I'm
up
trying to be
just staring at
respectful.
your boobs.
She just was looking at it and didn't even tell me. She was just like,
No, I didn't even realize. I just like was so like zoned out on it.
And that's
I was
another
like,
fucked
nipple.
up thing. Why are my nipples? Why do I have to hide my nipples and you could show yours when yours
I
yours
don't-
serve no purpose? I feed children with mine. I mean, not anymore,
many-
but not anymore. I just what am I talking about? Like I'm a mom in a past life or something. I like I had a breast milk like black market ring or something. Because you can produce breast milk by just thinking that you're pregnant.
What?
Do you never heard of a placebo pregnancy?
No.
I used to do it. No. No, it's true. Your body, like, if you think you're pregnant enough, you can. That's why I believe in like the law of attraction and shit like that, because anything you think can become true. You know what I mean? Like if you think all the time like you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, you're gonna be a piece of shit.
I was thinking about your titty popping out the whole pot. No.
If you think Lindsey's titty's gonna pop out, and I said it earlier, I manifested that shit. But yeah, if you think that you're pregnant, your body will start to lactate.
So I can make my titties bigger just by being like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
That's how I
If
did
you're
it.
really convinced, yeah.
That's
Except
what
for
you're doing,
then,
Tom?
with my luck, then I just end up actually pregnant because then I manifested that, and then I would have to,
What were we talking about before my nipple came out?
the worst part of being alive.
Oh yeah. It's just I also just like the pressure from like everybody to be a certain way. Like I usually am like pretty, like I'm obviously like pretty myself, but like I also used to have a lot of privilege as far like thin privilege, and like obviously I have white privilege, and it's just shit that I didn't realize before that like now like, oh, okay, gained a little weight and people treat me differently. That's a crazy part of being alive too. The way society expects you to be,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is crazy because you're still like,
It's not like I'm a huge person,
Yeah.
but people legit treat me differently. It's crazy.
that
It's
is
crazy.
insane. Yeah.
And whatever. There's like just some weird slights that people say, and I'm like, why do you feel like it's okay to say that to me? And now I just have a whole new like, compassion for people in bigger bodies.
what do you feel other than thin? What do you feel the pressure to be?
Thin, hot, smart, funny. What other pressures do I feel? Good enough. I never feel good enough. We were talking about this. I have like, my therapist told me I had imposter syndrome because I'm working on a punk project right now. I'm like, let me just plug this real quick too.
plug whatever
I'm
you
working on a fucking punk project with Tim Armstrong from Rancid, which is like super fucking.
Oh, nice.
I told you that. I'm like just bragging about it again. But if you know punk rock, like that's fucking awesome. He's like a fucking legend. But I'm having like, and obviously I've known him for 7 years. We've made music together before. He wants to work with me. He thinks I'm talented. He thinks I'm great, but like I still am like in my head about it. And then even just doing anything, comedy, anything, I still am like, am I even a real comedian? Am I a real this? Am I hot enough to have an OnlyFans? Like shit that's so stupid and not true. Like, and I consciously know it's not true, but I'm so subconsciously conditioned from society for my whole life that it's part of me is still like, you're too fat, you're not funny enough, you're not hot enough, you're not cool enough, whatever. I'm not punk rock enough to make a fucking project with Tim Armstrong. And my therapist was like, clearly you're suffering from imposter syndrome. And I didn't believe her because I'm like, I'm not good enough to have imposter syndrome. So it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, Tim was only a punk from 1987 to 1989.
And what? And now what?
And then Rancid took off, and he's been a rock star. But like, I mean, like Op Ivy years were about the only time that dude, and then he spent a whole career writing lyrics about those 2 years of his life. He's brilliant. Like the guy made a whole career writing about 2 years of his life.
You would not consider Rancid punk rock?
No.
Why?
They're a major label band, you know, on MTV.
But Green Day's still punk.
No.
I mean, well, that's why
I love Rancid, by the way. I've seen him like 7 times.
Okay.
I know
I
everyone
guess
else.
that's what you would call pop punk.
It's just like
popular.
I think it's a little commercial for punk.
But I would think that like pop punk would be like.
I love how
like,
vulnerable you just were. And Voki's like, he's not actually. I've been waiting for you.
I love Rancid, though. I want to make that clear. I'm not being too good for them.
But I feel like what is that? Like Simple Plan and like Newfound Glory. I feel like they're pop punk. I don't feel like Rancid's pop punk.
They're
but-
better than that.
I'm not good enough to be an imposter.
Like I wouldn't.
They're not punk.
He's like, let me just add further to your imposter
Not
syndrome.
you, to Tim's. You're doing great.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I thought
think
that'd be a little more lighthearted, but got a little serious.
No, you're good.
I think that like
I'm just like really. No, I'm good.
I think
I was
that
talking about Tim, not you. I wasn't talking about you at all.
But I'm like, this is the one thing that makes me cool to me.
No, you're the thing that makes you cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw,
I
that
mean,
was really nice.
that's
Not Tim. As awesome as he is.
Yeah.
Tim makes me cool.
He does look like Elvis Costello now. Just covered it. He wears like a fedora and big glasses, but he's got a spiderweb head, a tattoo on his head. So I saw him at a restaurant the other day, and I was like, "Did Elvis Costello get sleeves?" And then he took his hat off, and I saw the spiderweb. I was like, "Oh, that's Lint. That's Tim Armstrong."
No
dude.
way.
Yeah. I got pretty excited.
Where was it?
Los Feliz somewhere.
cool.
Yeah. House of Pies.
Oh yeah.
House of
I know
Pies.
that.
I love
Yeah.
that fucking place.
Me too, dude.
Hell yeah, that like is it fucking diners. I love diners, and they have such good pie. And oh my god, I gotta go there.
I fuck with pie.
I love fucking.
It was
pie.
National Pie Day recently. I put my
yeah,
friend posted a
3.14.
video. I got paid to get pied in the face last year.
That's sick.
Yeah, some guy named the Pie Guy paid us $200 to pie each other in the face. So
That's
of course
pretty
we
cool.
did.
Oh, I would totally do that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that whole "I'm not good enough" thing ever goes away?
No.
No, if you're smart, no, because I think that the thing is that
Wait,
like
what do you mean? What do you mean?
not
if you're
not
smart?
saying like if you're smart you don't think you're good enough, but I just think that this is a true thing that like there's a lot of dumb famous people, and I'm not saying anything is wrong with being dumb. It's not your fault that you're dumb, but like if the smarter you are, the more likely. Okay, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a literal. There's like a scientific study about this.
the fire guy in the nightmare movies.
What? No. No, but it's like if you're an expert on something, you're going to be more likely to say, I'm not positive about this because X, Y, and Z, and there's all these variables and factors, where the people who know nothing are more likely to be like, this is how it is. Like if you see, like, say, just an example, like Dr. Fauci being like, well, there's giving all examples and not sounding sure of himself, and then people being like, the vaccine is bad. You know what I mean? There's people who don't know what they're talking about, who are very
Right, because they make
speak with conviction.
Victoria's Secret
Like the way I
models.
just talked about Tim.
Yeah.
And-
Right, I would be suffering from the Dunning-Kruger effect because I was so self-assured. So I was speaking like one of those guys.
Yeah, like it's like if you don't know what you're talking about, you're more likely to act like you know what you're talking about, and then if you know what you're talking about, you're more likely to be like, well, it's a broad spectrum and da da da. So like smarter people are more likely to view things from objectively and see everything and be like, well, there's this, and this, and I'm not the most talented person. Where somebody who's not that smart is gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm so talented, I'm so great.
More
no
about
doubt.
nuance.
You're not gonna doubt yourself as much.
I think the key isn't to start feeling like you're good enough, I think the key is to not give a shit if you're good enough. Like, I think
to
like,
do it anyway.
Yeah.
If I didn't give a shit about whether or not I was good enough, I
you wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's how I feel too. It's
That's
like
the problem.
Then I would just not give a fuck and not do anything.
It's hard to find motivation when you're not craving validation, and it's a
Yes.
hard part of
and
life,
also the more spiritual you get, like the more of like aligned I get with being like what the world is like and how whatever, just like being grateful, this and that. I realize nothing matters, and I'm like, so why even try to have a career?
You do that with your hair makes me want to do that with my chest hair. I was not
Braid it?
sorry. Yeah.
I have one chin hair that's like black. You just reminded me of that. Just felt like confessing that to you.
It happens when you're high T. You know, we talked about high testosterone.
Am I high T?
I don't know. Probably.
I would be, yeah.
But yeah, I think that like a lot of like the like imposter syndrome stuff, like that's a main source of like anxiety for me, and it stops you from being able to enjoy things. Like I used to enjoy comedy, and then when I started like getting stuff, then I just constantly felt the pressure to prove that I deserved it.
Yes.
And so like it just started making me miserable to where like, especially if I had to go on stage in front of comics.
That's how I am too. Like I'm like I can go in front of 2,000 people in a Suicide Girls crowd and know I'm gonna crush. But if I'm going up in front of 10 people and half of them are comics, I'm like
Yeah.
But fuck comics.
But it doesn't matter. But yeah, you worry like
matters nothing.
It doesn't matter at all. But in my mind, I'm like, I want all the comics to think I'm a real comic, and I know that like there's like a stereotype around certain people, including myself. Like, cause like when I started comedy, I already had a following, and so I did get booked on shit like sooner than I like should have. But it doesn't matter. It made me better. But like people hated on me for it, you know, and we're like,
That's such a loser perspective.
It's such a but yeah, this is like obviously open mic days where it's like, you know, everybody's fucking the people who are still doing it. Well, you know what I'm saying, but
yeah,
they get in your head.
Yeah, and I like you get this thing like, oh, like did I just get this over someone else because they needed a woman? Did I just like get it? And it's like, I don't know. I just like it makes you miserable to constantly feel like you have to prove yourself, and it's like you don't even enjoy it anymore, and it fucking sucks. And like I'm you know, trying to fucking get over that. But
I have not enjoyed comedy for a long time, and then like 3 days ago I went to the Comedy Store and I watched Doug Stanhope do an hour and a half, and I fell right back in love with comedy.
That's good.
And my last 3 sets have been so fucking fun.
Holy shit.
That dude made me like I felt like a 15-year-old when I was watching him. I felt like I didn't even do it. It was wild.
I think I have to go because I think I stopped watching stand-up comedy, and I think I have to go back to it because I do think that's
just watch your favorites.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
I used to and I like. Sorry, everybody, but like I used to Louis used to do that for me. Like I know. I used to watch Louis and be like,
sorry, he still does it for me.
look, whatever he did is, but like as far as like his comedy, it like it made me be excited about comedy because I was like, oh, it could be that, you know, not like oh, I could say the N-word, but like, you know, the other stuff he does.
That was what excited me.
It is so
that he got away with
it's
saying.
like so easy to be disenchanted in comedy and in any field that's like in entertainment because it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
But I think you just have to like remember like what you love about it. And
You know what's fun too is because we live in LA, so the OC's right there, so you can go see somebody do an hour, not 15 minutes. Like there's all these weekend clubs right around us. I recommend just whoever your favorite is when they're just go like an audience member. Like don't pay. Don't even try to get in on the guest list. Fully experience it like an audience member, and it's invigorating.
Actually, I did that because my dad wanted to go see one of his favorite stand-up comedians, and he was like, "Will you go with me?" And I was like, "Sure."
Who was it?
It was Bert Kreischer, and my dad loves Bert Kreischer, and like he was like, "Will you go with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I went and I just like got drunk and watched comedy and like didn't like think like, oh, I'm a comic and I'm too good for this or whatever. I just like fucking had a good time and it was like really fun.
Do you guys have that idea of like, I feel like there's some comics who are like, they don't watch other comics because they don't want to like accidentally, because the crypto amnesia is real. Sure. I've had people straight up take an exact punchline of mine and I know that they probably don't realize it, so I don't even say shit, but I'm like, you know.
I feel the opposite. I feel like I'm less likely to do a bit someone else is doing if I see them do it, because like I feel like a lot of us have parallel thinking, and like I think that if you kind of know, and I like to know kind of I think of it as, because I think of it as like if you're in any industry, like say you're in the tech industry, you have to be up to date on what the latest tech is. You have to know what's out there.
True.
You have to know what's going on to be able to build on that, or to be able to do something different or whatever. Like I feel like you have to kind of keep up with what's going on, unless you want to be like, if you haven't watched comedy in the past 20 years, and I know some of these guys, they are stuck as an 80s comic, you know, because they think that's still what comedy is. And like,
that's Long Island comedy.
I bet.
And you know, I see a lot of it.
Guys.
Yep.
So I think that like, just like any industry, like you kind of have to keep updated with what is going on in like, and what people are doing, even if it's not like, not to say like, oh, I should be doing this thing, but to be able to be like, okay, like what can I build on from here? What can I do differently that is, you know, whatever. I think it's silly to not what, just like if you're a baseball player, you wouldn't like not review tape,
right?
You know, like, so I don't know.
I think what I've learned is however much time I spend listening or watching other like specials or stuff, that is how much I have to listen in equal parts my
to your
own.
How hard is that though?
It's really hard. It's really hard.
I tape every set and I don't watch every set.
Well, then what's the point of taping it then?
Well, because I will like eventually sometimes go back and watch them, and then because sometimes you have like a good crowd work moment or something, you know. But like, also I just have unlimited data on my phone. I don't care. But like, the idea is so that I could get clips and post them. But then I get in my head about it, and then I'm like, oh god, I don't want to post that. And then like it's like so hard to watch yourself sometimes. Yeah,
I feel like it took me 8 years to figure out how to listen to myself without wanting to kill myself.
Some days I listen and I'm like
filming, and now I really want to kill myself.
Right. I listen or watch sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, like I feel, you know, like I don't know. Some days I will listen and be like, oh no, I'm funny, I'm doing well, and then some days I listen and I'm like,
never had that thought about
really?
me.
It's fun when I subtitle my stuff. I'm like, God damn, I have the worst grammar. I speak like a fucking Mark Twain character, like a river kid
on TikTok doing
a river kid.
Inserting the like you're talking about the TikTok where Otto does it. It literally its depiction of what I said was not words. I know. I was like, oh fuck, and part of it was I was like getting laughs, but they were just like hot job, what about, like it was just like it sounded like random noises. Like if a Chinese person was making fun of English voice, that's what it would sound like.
I realized that like I'll sometimes like I don't finish sentences because I will finish the sentence in my head and then think like, okay, I finished that sentence, and then move on to the next part of what I'm saying, and then I'll watch it back and be like,
I do that all the time.
Not really on stage because I know what my jokes are on stage, but like in instances like this, like on a podcast, I will get ahead of myself and I'll be like, yeah, and then I don't understand why I don't finish my sentences. I think that everyone gets what I'm saying, but I'll watch it back and be like, why would I think that people would get what I was trying to say there?
I think your thoughts are moving fast, because that's me too, like where I feel like I have to give you so much background. I'll give people so much background to tell like a one sentence story.
You do that, yeah.
I do that, yeah. And it'll have like really nothing to do with it, but I'll do the same thing where like I'm in my head and I won't finish. I'll be like, but first, before I'll start a sentence, and I'll be like, before I finish this sentence, let me tell you about how I met that person. And then somehow I go on another story about them, and then it's like, oh, and then...
It reminds me of that Patrice joke where he's like, tell me how the story ends first. And he'll be like, somebody got shot. And he'd be like, all right. Tell me the story.
That's so funny.
The first time I ever went to a club, I saw someone get shot.
Yeah.
When I was 17. Yeah.
Okay. You please tell the story.
it's not a great story, but when I was underage going to a club, and it was just funny because it was like it was on Long Island, and it was like an outside club or whatever. There was inside and outside, and they had like volleyball, and they had like a guy grilling burgers. And me and my friend were just wasted. And for some reason, we're just broke and also like, just trying to get shit for free because I was a mooch back then. And so I was like, let me get a burger for free, and it was like $1 burger. I don't know if I didn't have $1. I just didn't want to pay for it. But
Is this going to end with you shooting a guy?
Yeah, like, give me that fucking burger. No,
it's that briefcase scene in Pulp Fiction, but it's all in and out.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about it is that I'm convincing the burger guy to fucking give me a burger. He finally agrees to give me and my friend a free burger. We're like, sick. We're going to go
So you did rob this man.
Yeah. But we're like, all right, we're going to go to the bathroom. We'll be right back. We go to the bathroom. We come out of the bathroom.
You snort the burger.
You snort it. And break it up. So we come out and everybody in the place is like, gunshots, don't go outside. So like we go outside. And the guy, guess who got shot? The burger guy.
Oh my God.
I was like, Tupac?
So we would have been, basically, we could have got shot real easily.
Yeah.
I don't think they were coming for him. I think he was just like in the crossfire. So like we could have been the ones that got shot. But he only got shot in the leg, so it wasn't too bad. But like, I'm wasted. I start rubbing, like somebody's tending to his leg. I'm like rubbing his shoulder, eating. I went and got the burger. I'm eating the burger. And I'm just like, I can't believe you got shot.
Spilling
a
cheese
bun in
And the
the
girl
wound.
who's tending to his leg, she's like, I got it. I'm just like spilling ketchup on his shoulder, like, wow. Wow, so crazy you got shot.
Oh my God.
I used to, when I was a kid, I used to fantasize about getting a non-lethal shot. Just
Me
like,
too. I wanted to get stabbed. We're so
Yeah, yeah.
lame.
For
Like
what?
we just
For,
wanted
like,
to be
for
cool.
sympathy?
Yeah.
No, to be cool. Like
Yeah.
I got a scar. I wanted like a stab.
Oh no,
scar.
I wanted sympathy.
Oh, you wanted
Yeah, I
sympathy.
wanted people to be like, oh.
Yeah.
I've wanted the lethal
I wanted to be
shot.
tough.
Yeah, I think I would fantasize about like taking a bullet for somebody, but like not
Wow.
dying, like because then you're like a hero.
I don't know. Like, do you realistically, really, would you take a bullet for someone? I think I'd
don't know.
run. Like, who would I take a bullet? My
I
niece.
almost
My niece is
took
the
a
only
bullet
one.
for free.
What do you mean?
What I was in Vegas with Keith, and
I knew this was gonna be a Mean Boys related thing.
there was a fight, and guy pulled out a gun, and the way Keith describes it, he's like, he ran. He goes, everyone ran. I hide behind a slot machine. I look around. I go, "Where's Tom?" And I peek my head around the corner. The guy's waving the gun, and people are tagging him. And you have not stopped calmly walking through the man waving the gun, trying to get to the
You were
So-
just walking in front of him?
yeah.
Why was there a
Did
guy
you
with a
realize
gun?
what was going on?
Yeah, I just didn't give a shit.
Wait,
You're
so-
not gonna shoot the calm guy. You're gonna shoot the people freaking out.
Well, I don't know
I
if
don't know
that's
about
true.
That's why they tell you to run in a zigzag.
Tom's written the worst survival handbook ever.
It's not a
All right, how many
crocodile.
hunters do you know that shoot the cow? There's no fun in that. That's a farmer.
Why would they be hunting on a ranch where there's no such thing as wild cow?
Well, there was at one point, I guess.
Not here, not in the U.S.
Yeah,
Where-
where
where
are
are cows
cows
from?
wild?
Like
India?
Spain or some shit.
Because
Spain.
in India they're like sacred, they're like
I think that's literally what hunters do. They like try and sneak up on them when they're being calm. Or
I've snuck up on a cow. Very easy.
Yeah, the first cattle were introduced in the U.S. from Spain and England.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not from here. But yeah, no, that analogy sucked.
But people. No, it does because people don't do that.
Unless they're one of those people that are like they see humans as like game, like they're like the most dangerous game, and they're just doing it for sport, and they're like, I don't want to go for the easy one, I want to go for like
Right.
the one.
Right.
Other than that, I think
Like the depressed guy who's not gonna
Yeah.
run.
He's like, fuck it.
you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But wait,
You want to die. This isn't fun for
Right.
me.
That's exactly
Right.
the thing. Yeah, and I went past it
You
with
should
that
have loaded
energy.
that gun with
Wait,
Zoloft bullets.
so what happened though? Why did he pull a
They-
gun out?
Because there was like a fight.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the other thing. Is he wasn't it wasn't like a.
focused on you.
It wasn't a country concert. It was a very like focal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They had a target.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm good. He's trying to shoot that guy.
There was a and I just did. If I got hit, I would not. I just did not care at that point.
Lindsey, do you have anything you want to plug? Do you have a where can people find you?
At Lindsey Jennyngz with a Z at the end. LindseyJenningz. You got to type the whole thing because I'm shadow banned. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LindseyJenningz.com, OnlyFans.com/LindseyJenningz with a Z.
Yeah.
I'll be in Austin in April. Creek in the Cave.
April
and
what?
April 8th, I'm at the Roast Battle, which I forget where it is, but just fucking look it up. And Creek in the Cave, April 9th. And check out my podcast, Think and Grow Bitch.
Hell yeah. Thanks for being here, Lindsey.
Thank you for having me. I love you.
I love you.
I love you, Tom.
Love. Yeah, Brian.
Everything hurts.